everybody. Welcome to Logan's Rock and Metal Extravaganza. Look at this motley looking crew. Yeah, Alex is supposed to be here. He's having issues, but hopefully he can join us. So, yeah, we got Mike Ladano from Grab a Stack of Rock, who is still muted. I cannot unmute you because it says you chose to mute yourself.
Am I required to speak?
There we go. Your volume's a little bit low, though, Mike.
That's just the way I talk, Sidney.
That's just the way.
It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be
Christian
like
Bale your Christian Bale Batman impression. Is that what that is?
I'm Batman.
I'm Donna.
You want to know me?
All right. Yeah, we got Mike Ladano from Grab a Stack of Rock, William Toth from Mills Rush Page. We got Rand Kelly, and of course Logan, and Alex is here. All right, cool. Alex made it just in time.
Hey, can I say fuck you to StreamYard?
Whoa!
I think you just did.
Good.
Where did
Alex!
Show me?
Is this a family-friendly show?
Show me on the doll where
over now.
What is
I
StreamYard?
did a 2-hour show today on Zoom. No problem. Every time I switch from that to StreamYard, something gets screwed up. So,
Alex,
hello, everyone.
Virtual hug.
Oh, I got
How you doing,
a lot
brother?
of people here. Oh, let's see. Go through the comments a little bit through.
Hi,
There
Alex.
you go.
Nice to meet you officially.
Same here, my man.
Been watching your videos for a while, so
Thank you.
nothing
Appreciate
creepy.
it.
There's like a top
problem.
10.
Nothing creepy. Just watching
Holy
your
crap.
stream. So.
No.
Neil
No,
Young
you-
on the beach. Yeah, people
Listen,
are throwing.
you can't be any creepier than Sid, so don't worry about it. You're good.
You got me there. I agree.
Oh boy.
I got a lot of honorable mentions. I could have
crap.
brought
Yeah,
way
there's
more.
Tons of
74 was a
mentions.
huge year for
Uncle
this.
Meat's got a top 3 already.
Yeah.
Cool. Diamond Dogs. People are just throwing. He needs to be screaming for vengeance. Well, you're way too early on that one. All right. So, wait 10 years. Well, 8 years. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go around. So, Mike, welcome back to the show. And what's your number 3?
I don't know. I can't remember. But you're going to run a clip, and then we're going to talk about it.
You want me to run the clip?
Run the clip.
All right, cool. And just a warning, this is not child friendly. So
True.
Mike went full on Tourette's in this video.
I did.
All right, now I just gotta find it. Where did it go? Where did it go? Uh-oh. Did I lose it? I hope I have it. Nope. Hold on. I got so many damn folders here. Here we go. So I'm doing number 3, right? Yeah. Be your 3rd pick. Okay. Where the hell did it?
Now for the most.
Oh wait, no. That was the last one, right? No, because I named it 3 as in that's
one
the
of
third.
them and we'll
That's
go
the
with
3rd video. Hold on. I'm showing your number 1 first. I'm screwing that up. All right, here we go. Where does this go? Mike,
Hey there, Slogan's Rockin' Metal Extravaganza. I see you standing there with your finger in the air, which means it must be my turn to pick my first 1974 album and song. So if I held this up to the camera, you can probably guess which album we're talking about first.
Will approves.
A very different album from Rush. The only one with John Rutsey on drums before they went quote-unquote progressive. A lot of straight hard rock and heavy metal on this album. And very, very, very hard to pick just one song. I could easily pick Finding My Way or Working Man, probably the 2 best known songs on this album. But I think if I'm going to go with my true favorite, it's got to be What You're Doing, which I actually first heard in the early 90s as covered by Skid Row, and I loved Sebastian's version of it, but I think I love Rush's better. So my first pick from the first Rush album is What You're Doing.
Cool.
Very nice.
Wait, are we picking songs or albums?
Both, right? You're doing your favorite album and the
Are
song.
we going 3, 2, 1? Like so? 3, 2, 1?
Nice.
3rd choice, 2nd choice, 1st choice? Or
Yeah.
random?
Yeah, you're doing 3rd, then your 2nd,
Okay,
then your
got
1st,
it.
and you're also
All
giving
right.
me a song.
Okay.
We will be doing listening parties again and playing your favorite song from these as well. So.
All right.
And this is the Sector 1 box set. There's 3 of these box sets, and each of them have a number and a face, and they all line up.
What albums do you get in that? You get everything?
You got Rush. No, through the box sets, you get everything from Rush to Hold Your Fire. This box set contains Rush, Fly By Night with a 5.1 mix on a DVD. Of course, the Caress of Steel, 2112, and All the World is a Stage.
Wow. 10. I was 2 in 1974. Oh, Dan, of course. Can hardly hear you, Ladano. See, Uncle Meat knows.
Nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, and I
Nothing
think
It sounds fine to me.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Sector
Yeah, I
2
can hear
box
mine.
set has all Sidney's favorite synthesizer period Rush albums, including Hold Your Fire, if I'm not mistaken. So just thought I'd mention that, Sidney.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Uncle Meat, you know the volume switch? Turn that up a little bit. No, I'm kidding.
What does Logan mean when he says minus 29?
I don't. Oh,
what it was
he was
when
minus
74.
29.7.
Oh, that was his age.
Yep.
Minus
Got it.
29.
That was my age. Yep.
All right, Will. Will's turn.
All right.
What's
Well,
your number three?
my number 3 is Crime of the Century by Supertramp, 1974. This record is amazing in the sense that the production is very well done. It's introduction of a few new band members that hadn't been with them before. Now, don't quote me on that, all of this, because I'm not a Supertramp expert, but this record speaks to me on many different levels. Lyrically, it's very well done. And there are some amazing songs on this, such as Dreamer, Bloody Well Right. And actually, Dreamer was the number 13 hit in the UK. Bloody Well Right, U.S. listeners preferred the B-side. It reached number 35 on the Billboard Hot 100. Another song, School, Hide in Your Shell, and the CD itself hit gold status 1977 in the U.S. market and diamond status in Canada, in the Canadian market. So that is my number 3. I think if I have to choose my favorite song from that, it would probably be Asylum.
All right.
Again,
Logan's mom coming in with the insults. All right.
I love that album. I remember when it first came out, and everybody said, "Listen to this. Guy sounds kind of like Peter Gabriel." And I go, "Oh, really?"
Yep.
But I didn't hear that. But when I found out Ken Scott produced it and also produced the Mahavishnu Orchestra and also engineered the Beatles, I thought, "Oh my God, this guy is amazing." Of course, he did Happy the Man. I don't know, you guys know about Happy the Man? He did both of their 2 first albums, and they sound incredible. So clean.
Nice, Meat. Yeah, I gotta start listening to more Alex Harvey because they're crazy and I like that kind of shit. So, yeah, I gotta get into them more.
Yeah, this album's considered their commercial breakthrough from the research I did, which I was not aware. I had assumed it was Breakfast in America, but that surprised me.
I love Dreamer. Every time it comes on the radio, I sing the hell out of that thing.
Yeah, that's
love
a beautiful song, well written. Yeah, it's a really, really good record.
Yeah, that's.
I'll sing it. I'll sing it tomorrow, Sidney, when it's my turn. Just for fun. I won't do it here.
I'm expecting that to be on your list, but yeah.
Too many new people here. I might pee off.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, Crime of the Century is a good one. I've got that in my honorables, but yeah, cool. Rand, what's your number 3?
Great album. Okay, my number 3. I really debated about this because I picked my number 3. I would listen to before my number 2, but I had to do it like this. I'm going to go with a live album.
Okay.
Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Ladies and gentlemen, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. This album is so freaking good. One of my favorite live albums ever. And Keith Emerson is a monster on this. I just can't believe what he does. This album is so good. There's only one little flaw about this record, if you've ever heard it. They do, in the middle of Take a Pebble, they do Jeremy Bender and The Sheriff. I think it's that song. And in The Sheriff, Greg Lake's bass, his A string, somehow goes down a quarter step out of tune. And I have perfect pitch. And when he hits it, like to beat the band, you know? It's just so out of tune. It just jars my brain. I can't stand it. But how they let that go, I don't know. But anyways, masterpiece live album, one of my favorite of all times. And my favorite song off of here would be Toccata is pretty awesome. Yeah, I got to go with Toccata, even though Carnival 9 is 30 minutes long because it's 3 separate things, but it's still Carnival 9. But I'm going to go with Toccata. Just
Okay.
mind-blowing.
Cool. Nice. Alex.
So Sid and I message back and forth
Uh-oh.
all the time. Sid is a very lonely guy. So in all hours of the day, I ding, ding, ding. I'm hearing it, and I respond to him because I feel bad for him, right? So in one of the comments, I said, I found 1974 to have lots of good albums, but not lots of great albums. So it wasn't as hard for me to pick my top 3 here as it was previous years. And like Rand, save your comments for the end because you have me beat on this album, and I'll get to that in a minute. It is a live album, and I'm not a live fan. But when you take a live album and blow away the studio versions, that transcends the album. And I am talking about Santana Lotus.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. So recorded July 3rd and 4th in Osaka, Japan on the Caravanserai tour. Released in released in May of 74 in Japan only. Then in November of 75 in Europe. In the United States, we did not get it until 1991 on CD.
Wow.
So why, I don't know, because it's ridiculous. So the album is a triple LP, 23 songs, 121 minutes. The CD version is actually 22 songs and 119 minutes. So it's less on the CD than on the original album. But, and I know Rand has this because we have talked about before in a live show, in Japan, again, Japan only in 2017, they released a 3 CD set that adds, it takes up to 30 songs, adds 36 minutes of music. So that is one that I still have to track down. Rand, you can put me in your will if you want and give me that at some point, or I'll just go in Discogs and pay the price because
Did I show it now, or
you can do whatever you want, man.
you want to see it? Okay.
Yeah. But you know, this is, first of all, the album is crazy. I can't even show it on here, but it unfolds into. Here's the story on this. It's the packaging was designed by artist Tadanori Yoku, and it holds the record for the most facings on a gatefold vinyl LP at 22 panels. All of the sleeves and the album cover opens up, so it's a crazy thing to look at. And so what is happening on this? So on the Caravan album, this is a transitional period for the band. They're shifting more into prog, jazz, fusion, and it's reflected on this live set. Mostly songs off of the first 5 albums, Santana, Abraxas, Santana 3, Caravanserai, but Welcome. But kind of reworkings, crazy versions of this. And this is why I put this one here. They also added 7 new songs, some of which are only on this set. So 8-member band, Santana's in the lead as always. And while the studio versions of these songs are great, again, another level on the live version. Yeah, there you go. That's what I want. I mean, that's super cool that they added that many songs. So a lot of the songs are actually the same length or close to it, but some are much longer. So it ends on Incident at Neshabur, which is on Abraxas, 5 minutes, and on this live album, 17 minutes. And Santana goes off the rails. So to me, price of admission, worth it just for that song. But in general, you're getting the traditional Afro-Cuban rhythms and sound of Santana, but again, going more into spiritual jazz. He was a big John Coltrane fan. He worked with Alice Coltrane, so that's all mixed in with this heavy keyboard and guitar experimentation. Some vocals, Leon Thomas on vocals, only was on Welcome in 73 and on this. So largely instrumental. But again, you're just getting a wealth of amazing Santana playing. And so that's why this speaks to me. And I'm actually not being a live guy, putting a live album on my list. So Santana, Lotus. And you can see Rand as if I did that with the album though, instead of the CD, I'd have to back up because it forms a billboard essentially. Yeah.
What was the song again?
I don't know what to do.
The extended song, it's called "Incident at Neshabur," if I'm saying that. Neshabur, if I'm saying that right.
Incident at. All right, I'll figure it out.
Again, on Abraxas, it's well, and if I don't know what song I'll play over this, let me study it some more. And
Okay.
do you have a time constraint? What are you looking for more?
Doesn't matter. Like I'm doing 3 shows, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, so maybe I go with this, or maybe I go with the shorter one. We'll see. But again, if you're any way, shape, or form a Santana fan and haven't heard this, man, check this out.
Cool.
Rand, you back me up on that, on how this sounds?
Logan just likes smooth. Logan just likes smooth. It's the only Santana
You
song.
can't go wrong with the Japanese CD. They
That's a
always
good song. I
sound
like
good.
that.
I don't know much Santana, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie.
All Japanese sound.
Yeah, I don't know enough.
This is killer. This stuff is so awesome. It is like, it's like Ma Vishnu Orchestra on speed. It's crazy, crazy fusion.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, he played with McLaughlin, right? So it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. It starts off with a song that they both did.
Surrender. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Excellent. Now I got to put it all back. Thanks, Alex.
You're welcome. Thank you, Rand.
At least it wasn't the vinyl, Rand. It could have been worse.
All right.
Yeah,
Logan,
the vinyl. Yeah. That was hard to get for a long time.
Talk to us about your favorite Carole King album.
All right. What she just got Tapestry, right? Is that her?
No.
See, I don't even know. Anyways, going with a classic band here, all right, that I haven't picked yet, I don't think. But yeah, it's probably my favorite lineup of this band. Pretty much, yeah, I would say so. And it's kind of probably, I don't know, some people like this period of the band, some people don't, I would say. I think a lot of people like at least a couple songs from this period. And of course, I'm talking about Deep Purple's Burn.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my number 3, which, of course, Ian Gillan and Roger Glover are gone. So, and in come David Coverdale and Glenn Hughes. So, and this is the first, real major thing David Coverdale ever sung on. So that's kind of a big deal in rock history, really,
He was a shoe salesman and ends up joining Deep Purple.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know that, Rand. I knew he probably had a day job kind of thing. I just didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, we didn't know anything about the guy. And
they should have covered Shoe Salesman by Alice Cooper.
Oh, maybe they would have made
in
it
a
better.
shoe store.
Can you imagine?
That was the rumor I heard back then. I don't know.
Was he a shoe salesman?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was a car dealership or something. I don't know.
I'll always love Burn, though, man. I think, all the tracks are great on it. It's kind of them starting to, probably not as much as Stormbringer, but they're starting to get into that kind of funk rock a little bit that Richie wasn't too big on. But he could play that style really well, just as good as regular hard rock. So, I think all the songs are great. Great Glenn Hughes and David Coverdale singing together too on a lot of this album, which I always liked. With songs like Lay Down, Stay Down and Sail Away, stuff like that. They're really gelling together well, I thought, And I know some people don't like the instrumental at the end, A200. I always liked A200 too. That was a cool song, I thought, John Lord's kind of baby for me there. So,
yeah,
of course, the title track.
It's an ARP Odyssey. That's all it is.
Logan, question for you: is that the Mach 2 lineup, or is that still
Mach 3?
Three.
Mach 3.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
What are they up to now?
I don't have a huge purple collection, but I have about 6 records, I think. So I've been educated on the different chapters, like many of these
worth having.
bands have been around 50 years.
I don't know if they have it or not, but yeah.
I do not.
I love you. No. I love you. Full No One. To me, that's the best song on the record, except Burn. Burn's tops. But after Burn, I think Full No One.
Okay.
Glenn Hughes singing lead is the best.
Did you know
in my opinion?
David Coverdale was such an overachiever on Burn that he turned in 8 separate sets of lyrics for the title track.
That's crazy.
Wow, that's
Wow.
crazy. Oh, I didn't know that, Mike.
Yeah, that's how
Really?
much of an overachiever he was when he joined that
Well, he's a
band.
dedicated guy.
Yeah.
He's joining the band. He wants to make an impression.
I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah,
Doesn't
there
want to
you
go
go.
back to
That,
selling shoes.
Perfect example.
That version I have here on CD is pretty nice too. It's got like a full write up about the album and everything and how they came about making it. I think it's from 2004, so it's pretty cool. Got some nice pictures of the band and everything.
That's the version to get dollars
stuff.
to donuts.
Nice.
You get some demos.
I don't own that
Yeah, I've got that
Mark
version.
III
too,
stuff.
that's fine.
I wish
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I never got around to
Richie?
buying it.
But yeah, that's my number 3, man. I always love Burn. Pretty much everything on
Good
it.
choice.
Great song.
Yeah,
I haven't
nice.
listened
Didn't
to
even
it
mention
since the 80s.
Very cool.
Wow. Okay.
didn't even mention Mistreated, man. I always loved that song too. And of course, Richie took that to Rainbow, so
Yeah.
pretty
Mhm.
cool as well. So.
Yeah.
You don't like the 12-minute version on the?
Well,
Yeah, it's a
It's
bit
all right.
much. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool. I was about to go to Mike, and then I completely forgot I'm supposed to do this too. All right.
Yeah, you got to go.
We can Sid, it's okay. We can skip over you. It's fine.
Don't forget
good with
yourself.
Logan might have this one on his list too, so I don't know.
uh-oh.
Curious if anyone will pick this. I think this was mentioned in the chat. I had to go with this. It was this or another one. Yeah, these guys are a band that most people say sold out in the 80s and went very poppy and commercial. I think Logan probably knows where I'm going with this. But
Maybe, I don't know.
back in the 70s, they were just a kick-ass rock and roll band. Going with Aerosmith, Get Your Wings. I had to include it.
Yeah.
It was a toss-up. I'll just say it. I mean, I'm going to read honorables. It was honestly a toss-up between this. Well, maybe I shouldn't say it. I'll wait till the end. But yeah, because I'm sure people might actually have some of these honorables on their list. So yeah, I had to go with this. Everything on here is great. I know the guys in Aerosmith aren't on Train Kept a Rollin', but you know what? Or sorry, the guitar players. It's Steve Hunter and Dick Wagner, but you know what? Who cares? They do a great version. I don't even know if people really knew that for like the longest time. I don't know when that information even got divulged. I guess people probably just assumed it was Joe and Brad, but good deep tracks on here. Spaced is such a great song. My favorite though is probably Lord of the Thighs. I love that. The weird piano, just such a weird song. And Steven Tyler sounded so great in the 70s. Like his voice was so different. Like you listen to him here and then in the 80s, it almost doesn't even sound like the same person singing. Like he had such a different voice in the 70s. Just this great bluesy, raspy voice. And then like even Seasons of Wither, he sounds great on that. And he's playing the acoustic guitar. And the live like audio that you hear in Train Kept a Rollin', which kind of bleeds into Seasons of Wither, is from I can't remember what it was called. It was put in there from a George Harrison live album. That's the they used like live audio, like live crowd noise from a George Harrison live album for that. So
With the Bangladesh thing, I bet.
yes,
Probably.
that's it. Yes,
Yeah.
George live in Bangladesh or something. Yeah, they use
Yeah.
that as the crowd noise just to give it like this live feel and everything. But yeah, I think it's just solid top to bottom. I mean, same old song and dance, like a radio staple. I don't get sick of that song, even though it's played a lot. But yeah, every song on here is great. But I would definitely Lord of the Thighs is probably my favorite on this. So yeah.
You know that Bangladesh movie was released in the theaters. I saw it with my
Wow.
cousins in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Amazing seeing that. Eric Clapton playing this big old Gibson Birdland, and he's doing that While My Guitar Gently Weeps solo. And it just
Okay.
doesn't work with that guitar because he did it on a Les Paul. And he said, the biggest regret I ever had was using that guitar for that song.
Oh, Logan, I assume you're going the title track, right? Burn, Deep Purple.
Oh yeah, we can go with that. Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm gonna play the 15-minute version of Mistreated just for you. Though. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, can I change my track on
If we get
the
on
LP?
stage.
It doesn't matter. You can pick whatever.
I don't want to stick with Takata.
No,
Takata's great and everything, but I'm going to go with Tarkus because they do this long solo called Aqua Tarkus. That's just absolutely mind blowing.
All right.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
I mean, we played that the last time. For that's all right. This is the live version. It's different.
I think Rand picked Takata for 73 too, I believe. I could be wrong.
No, I think
don't
he
know.
On the studio album,
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, you're right. That's another reason to change it.
We ended up playing Tarkus though the last
Very
time.
good. Very good, Logan. Good catch.
All right, cool. Mr. Ladano, you want me to play your video first?
Logan Collins, pay attention. Sidney, roll it.
Logan Collins,
Uh-oh.
pay attention. Oh, it doesn't add it automatically on its own. You have to click out. It used to just add it as soon as you.
74 is a heck of a year for great albums, and I really struggled with my second one. It could have been any number of bands that you're seeing today, but at the end of the day, I decided to go with the ever controversial Stormbringer by Deep Purple. You may have seen a Rock Daydream Nation episode about this fantastic album. Yeah, I said fantastic album. I love Stormbringer. This is the one where a lot of people think Deep Purple lost it, if they didn't already when they changed from Ian Gillan to David Coverdale. But they also had Glenn Hughes on bass. He was singing a lot of lead vocals and brought a lot of funk influences to Stormbringer. Richie Blackmore was once quoted as stating he didn't like bluesy music, and then he said, "Oh no, by that I mean funky." And this got too funky for Blackmore's taste, yet I think when he plays that funky style, he is fucking great. There's some absolutely amazing stuff on this album, like You Can't Do It Right, that is totally funk. Love Don't Mean a Thing is also a great song. Interesting thing is they don't really know who co-wrote it. They had some guy, some busker, that was singing them a song about money, and they decided to turn it into Love Don't Mean a Thing, but they couldn't credit the guy because they never got his name. He was like a street performer. Soldier of Fortune is one that David Coverdale made a long life out of in Whitesnake. The Gypsy, fucking majestic, that song. Lady Double Dealer, really, really fast. Hold On, just soulful. Man, there's so many great songs on this album, but the title track, Stormbringer, is the one that sounds the most like classic Deep Purple. It has that Blackmore riff, and he actually recycled that riff later on in 1990 for a B-side called Slow Down Sister. So that's my second 1974 pick, Stormbringer. Yeah.
Good choice.
Thank you. Now this edition
we
here,
got both purple albums on, so that's cool.
this is the one that complements the one that Logan has. So this is the remaster. You get some Glenn Hughes remixes, but on disc 2 you get a DVD with the original quad mix that came out in 1974-75. Would have come out on either 8-track or vinyl or both, but now you can play the original quad mix on your home 5.1 system with this DVD. So that is why this, to me, is the essential version. You get both versions of Stormbringer, both mixes. It's awesome. Great package. Deep
I'm
Purple have
ordering
done-
that right now.
Cool.
I'm getting that on Amazon.
There you go, Rand.
Uh-oh.
And for the record, if you need to talk to anybody, if you need a Deep Purple catalog consultant, you want to know which versions of which albums to buy, you come to this guy right here. I don't think there's anybody within our YouTube community who has a bigger Deep Purple collection than I do. I'm like down to like one song that I need, which is Deep Purple with Pavarotti from one of the Pavarotti and Friends CDs.
Wow.
That is like the only track that I do not own physically in my collection at this point. So like I am deep into the Deep Purple hole. So
You're basically the Will of Deep Purple.
yeah.
Probably
Where there's a
Is
will,
that
there's a
it
way.
right there? Can you
Beautiful.
see that?
has all sorts of
Yeah,
bootleg.
I can't see, Rand, if that's the same version or not, but I don't think so because it should look like it has these.
Yeah,
It's going to be the 35th anniversary
Oh, this is
edition.
Japanese. Sorry, this is a Japanese copy.
Yeah, this is the 35th anniversary edition from 2009 EMI.
I
Lady
appreciate
Double-
that.
You have to look for that.
I almost ordered the wrong one.
Yeah, Lady Double Dealer. That's such a great fast heavy song.
35th anniversary edition.
Yeah. It's
I don't
weird
see
to
it
me
on
that Richie
Amazon.
didn't like that. Like, just what? Like, it's a great album. I don't know.
It's
Well, basically,
not
me and Mike said the
complete
same
funk,
thing.
though,
Man. He
like,
played that style great.
It's not a
Does
funk
anybody-
album, though. Like, it's
Excuse me, does anybody like Splat? I haven't heard it yet.
Love Splat. I would just posted just this week that I finally acquired all the bonus tracks. And in order to acquire all the bonus tracks, I had to get the Splat box set with the live album and the bonus single. I had to buy the Japanese Splat CD with Highway Star Live. And I had to buy the Guilt Trippin' CD single, which has Portable Door and Anya live. That's the only way to get, quote unquote, all the tracks. But I love it. I love that album.
Hey, Mike, can I say something here?
Yeah.
You got a problem, and I know.
I know. That you do know.
Do you have the Jesus Christ Superstar with Ian Gillan? You have to have that.
I used to have it. I don't know. I think what happened was,
Oh,
Sidney,
He
I
doesn't
think what
have it.
happened was I had a vinyl copy. I know I had one. but it was like impossible to listen to. It was so scratchy
Really?
that I think I dumped it,
Wow,
and
okay.
I intending to buy a CD version of it, which I just hasn't passed through my transom yet, I guess. But
So, Mike, are you a Sabbath collector? And
yes.
Okay, so you have Born Again with Gillen.
You,
I think
Will,
everybody must own that, right?
are you referring to my favorite album of all time by anyone?
That's a completely different discussion.
Yes,
Wow.
it is.
Okay.
Yes.
So the deluxe.
He's
version
remixing
of
the
it,
new one.
You're good. It needs it.
No.
Although I do love the muddy mix that it does have, but
Oh no, I love
and
the
the live show that came with the deluxe package. As well.
I also have a 2 CD bootleg called Black and Purple, which is a live show with Gillen. Has like Rock and Roll Doctor on it and stuff like that. But it's sonically it's pretty weak, and Gillen was really in bad voice that night. He was not even. One thing I do like about it though is they do Heaven and Hell, and Ian kind of basically just gives up on singing it at one point. He's sing me a song, you're the singer, and then I'm trying to think of the line where he does it, but he basically just gives up singing the words and just goes.
He's got such a different voice than Dio. It's a weird.
Yeah, it's a weird mix. It's a weird.
I mean, I guess they didn't want to throw in
Good
purple
lord.
songs. I mean, you could have, but you have no keyboard players. How would that work? I mean, yeah.
But like
but
Ian
it works.
Gillan, my
It works. I
favorite
love those crossovers. Do
Yeah.
you guys recall Ozzy and the Priest? Remember that one? Or,
Yeah.
I just
Ozzy
bought
and the
that.
Priest. That one. Yeah.
And
I guess
just bought
that has been remixed recently because you could only get crappy bootlegs years ago, and I had a digital copy of it. And it just sounded like garbage.
Purple's $70 and it's out of stock, and Amazon
What?
doesn't have it.
70.
That's what I call the late tax.
They got it used. They got it used for $44.99
That's just for a CD.
And
That's
a DVD.
crazy.
for what he was talking about.
Still.
The CD, DVD.
That's
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
this is
this
the
is-
way it goes now.
This might be different, actually. The other one he was talking, the one he was talking about with the different cover, with all that fancy stuff, that's completely. We can't get it
Wow.
out of what's it called? Out of
Was that
it says unknown binding, currently unavailable. We don't know when.
Was that Canada only, or was that?
No, this is
Mike bought
this
the
is
last
Amazon.
one on Earth. So
Mike bought the
it's all
last
over now.
Yeah.
So I'm shit out of luck unless I go to eBay.
Mike has the
I
only copy.
I'll check eBay later and see if I can find something.
Richie
new.
Blackmore gave it to him. He said, "This is the only one we have of this. It's yours."
Blackmore
I'd
said he
like to-
didn't want
I'd like
it.
to
I
hear
saw
that.
you grab a
Yeah, he
stack of
probably
rock.
wouldn't have wanted it, right? Yeah.
Take this piece.
Like I
of
swear, if I sold my collection, I could retire now, but I'd retire sad. So
Go fund me for
Alex
Rand
knows
buying
exactly
that
what I'm
album.
talking
Oh
about.
my God. All right, cool.
Go
Will,
fund me.
what's
Yeah. No, I didn't do my homework. I didn't create a video, and I couldn't find my only copy of this record. But and I don't have the LP, so I'm a little unprepared. If anybody has this, feel free to pull it out because it's got a very memorable cover, and that is "On the Beach" by Neil Young. Obviously,
Wow,
1974. That I'm a big Neil Young fan. Always have been a big Neil Young collector.
Go find it.
Excellent. If you have it, that'd be great.
Logan-
Thank you.
Logan's going to
Logan.
the beach.
It's going to the
Contest
beach.
and see who gets it
Going to the
first.
beach. And I believe it was just Bobo would be able to correct me on
Nice.
this, but I think it was just
That's the one with
released.
the car sticking out.
Yeah,
of
with the
sand.
cars sticking out of the sand and the patio furniture, and it's an iconic cover, number one, because
There she
they
is.
had to source all that stuff. And
kind of car is
that's
that?
it. Thank you, Logan. Perfect.
It's a
actually,
Cadillac.
It's a Cadillac, and I have some notes.
That's the other half of the Love Beach photo.
Yeah, they got it. It's a
1974
1959
That's the
Cadillac.
backside.
59 Cadillac, yeah.
59 Cadillac, complete with taillights, and they pulled the fin from a vendor, and the tail fin and the fender.
It's not a full car.
From a local place. No, buried it in the sand for this shot. They got the polyester yellow jacket and white pants at a sleazy men's shop for Neil, and they also acquired the patio furniture from a cheap furniture store to create that image, and then had to prep that shot, which took about 8 hours for them to properly prep that shot and get the lighting ready or correct for that record. So now going back to the record, And this is interesting. I knew it was part of the Ditch trilogy, and this is actually Neil's 5th studio record, but it is the 2nd chapter of the Ditch trilogy. And for those of you that don't know about the Ditch trilogy, this refers to Neil's anti-fame after the success of Harvest. He was very much done with the success portion of his career, and it was overwhelming for him. He was into a lot of drugs at the time, and he rejected the music industry and all the fame that came with it. So he did a series of records combined with some suicides that took place with band members, Bruce Berry being one of them, and I think Danny Whitten as well. And this was a very, very dark time, and that's why they call it the Ditch trilogy. There's a series of records that are around that. So if you want to know more about the Ditch trilogy, look it up online, because it's an interesting bit of history related to Neil's career. The record itself was recorded in a loose, haphazard way, with the musicians swapping instruments and Young choosing rough monitor mixes over polished takes. This frustrated engineers, but created a unique vibe on the record. And it's one of my favorites. I think it's very, based on all of that, it's actually very well produced. I think they captured the sound that they were looking for. Key tracks are Walk On, See the Sky About to Rain, beautiful song. Revolution Blues, inspired by Charles. Revolution Blues was inspired by Charles Manson, whom Young met in Topanga Canyon before the murders. Crosby and others refused to play it live because of the subject matter. Yeah. For the Turnstiles, a country folk hybrid critiquing the music industry with banjo, guitar, and dobro interplay. Another great song, in my opinion, Vampire Blues, a cynical shot at the oil industry. And of course, On the Beach, Motion Pictures, and Ambulance Blues. All great songs that close out the record. The emotional core of the record, Young's reflections on fame, heartbreak, regarding Carrie Snodgrass, critics, Richard Nixon, and the fading CSNY dynamic. He called this side a great take. This is B-side, and one of the best sequences ever in his career. So there's a lot of history in this record. And like I said, it's part of that darker period of time for Neil. This, if I'm not mistaken, comes right before Tonight's the Night, which is probably one of the most depressing Neil Young records ever recorded, but one of the best Neil Young's ever made as well. So On the Beach, yep. I think my favorite track on this is probably Revolution Blues.
Nice.
Although many of these songs have, not all, but many of these songs have been performed live, and I've heard live variations of these songs are really, really good. But I'm going to have to go with Vampire Blues.
Cool.
All right.
Cool pick.
Yeah.
Seems like you forgot about that. Wow.
Yeah, it's.
I'm not surprised, though. I know you love Neil Young, so that doesn't surprise me.
I do. It's my probably my second biggest collection.
Wow.
Next to Rush and Johnny Winter. So.
Nice.
But that's another story. So.
That's another story. Now I know how to keep in mind for a Johnny Winter show.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Don't forget, that's my uncle, Sid.
That's a ha ha ha. No, aren't you the guy from Bill and Ted?
That doesn't mean he can't be my uncle.
His name is Alex Winter, like the actor.
Yeah.
When he first said Alex Winter was going to be on the show with us, I was thinking of that guy.
Can you imagine?
I flashed to Winter right away. Went Johnny first, and then Edgar, of course. Right. So, but you're not as pale as those guys. So
no, but
you guys
don't see a relation. So.
Have you seen the Neil Young movie from 1973 called Journey Through the Past?
I have, yeah, and I have the soundtrack too. Yeah.
I saw it in the theater.
Did you?
Pretty amazing film. I was blown away.
The soundtrack is completely different from like decade, around that time. A lot of some of the songs are there, but it's mixed in with media presentation and a bunch of other cool stuff, introductions, and yeah.
He gets into an argument with some Bible thumper in Alabama or something about the song words. It's pretty amazing.
I remember that. Did you ever see the video of Neil? I think he was up in Aurelia.
Oh, Big Sur?
Yeah. No. He was up in a record store somewhere in Canada. I think it was in Canada, and he found a bootleg of his material, like a bootleg, and so he called it. There's a video floating around on YouTube about it, and so he called the owner of the record store over, and for some reason there were cameras there, and it might have been in his hometown or near his hometown, but he was a little bit upset when he found that record and wanted to know why the guy was selling this copy.
Oh, wow.
Bootleg material. So, yeah, it was from probably the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, I don't know why it's called Big Sur. I was thinking, if you've seen this, the movie Big Sur, where Steven Stills tries to go hit some dude, and David Crosby pulls him off before he can hit him. That's pretty weird.
Not seen that. No.
Steven Stills gets really pissed at this guy. It's called Celebration at Big Sur. Check it out. It's pretty intense.
Okay. I will check it.
Just real quick, when Johnny and Edgar Winter.
Right?
Well, just real quick, when Johnny and Edgar Winter, I'm being serious. When I joked that I'm my cousin or my uncle, in the 90s, I had bleached hair. And when I would do trade shows and I had my tag Alex Winter, people would ask me if they're my uncle. So I just started saying yes because I got so tired of the question. So anyway, that's what I'm
related. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you and Johnny kind of look alike. Seriously.
Again, when I had my bleached hair.
I just saw a video this guy did on Sea of Tranquility. It wasn't Pete, some other guy named Chris. He's talking about concerts he saw in '69 and '70, and he had a thing of Johnny Winter all over the place with all these different shots and stuff. You look a lot like him, I think. Anyways,
Alex sings Frankenstein in the shower.
Well, you're on the roll today, Sid.
He's or just play the drum part.
All right, my turn, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you remember Pete Townsend did a rock opera called Tommy? Did anybody do a prog opera? Yes, it was Genesis.
Yes, it was Genesis. Oh, you tricked me with that. I thought you were going to say yes.
I was answering the question. I really didn't think of that until you mentioned it. This is Genesis, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, which to me is my second favorite concept album of all time. This story makes absolutely zero sense, but who cares? It's a great album. I saw Genesis for the first time in my life, January 22nd, 1975 in Berkeley, California. They performed this whole album, start to finish. Wow. Mind-blowing.
Wow.
The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. That's funny. I love this record. I'm choosing. Oh my God, it was so hard to every song. I love every song, but I'm going to go with In the Cage because it's just awesome. And Tony Banks plays one of the coolest keyboard solos I've ever heard him play. In the Cage.
Cool.
Yep. Became a live staple for him, right, Rand? Played that live a lot.
Yeah. Phil Collins did it a lot.
Was there a DVD of that concert or that?
No, but they do have video on YouTube where they piece together a lot of the footage. It kind of works.
Okay.
Yeah, Rand's right about that. That one.
You can get a bootleg DVD of it. Yeah, they're out there.
Rand's right about that concept album making zero sense. I've always tried to figure it out. I don't know what Peter Gabriel was smoking when he made that. But
that story makes absolutely zero sense. It's all about cloning.
It's about Gabriel
in vitro fertilization, castration. It's about. It's a
family-friendly kind of.
It's just the weirdest freaking subject matter ever, from start to finish. None of it makes any sense, but yet it all works to me.
Yeah,
I love Max Webster lyrics. That just a bunch of words thrown together. Oh, it's funny.
To me, Peter Gabriel can do no wrong. He's putting out an album right now. Every month, a song gets released. He's already done 8 songs. I'm going to wait for the new album to come out before I start listening to him. But I love him.
He's hitting us over the head with a sledgehammer with all these albums. That was yeah. Anyways, Alex, no, not a good one.
Alex didn't approve.
Oh, I know. All right, Alex, what's satanic?
No, that's some honorables. That's not now.
It wasn't good enough this year for that, right?
No, was not.
No devil music this year. There's Sabbath, isn't there? 74? No, there's not.
There's not. No.
So the artist I'm going to talk about, I also had in 1972. And after this, he had 40 more years of recording, of which
Not
I
Miles
don't
Davis.
pay attention to any of that. And one of the most loved artists of all times, one of the most diverse artists of all the times, a true chameleon. But after
Bowie?
this, you got it. After this period, I just don't connect to any of that music. But Diamond Dogs, I certainly do. And so before this, though, we had Ziggy in 72, which I put on my list. Aladdin Sane just barely was my top 3. And this, I'm not counting Pinups, Cover Tune. Those 3 albums in a row, I put up against anybody's 3 albums in a row, period, end of discussion. I love it. So what's happening on this, though, there's a big change. So the Spiders disbanded. Ken Scott, the producer, is out. Bowie produces himself. Bowie plays lead guitar because now Mick Ronson isn't in the band. Tony Visconti comes back after 4 years away, does string arrangements, help mix this album, and then produces him for the rest of the decade. And to me, this is his final in the glam period. But I think it's the final period. He came in and got out at the right time. And some people lingered a little bit after this, and it just sort of got watered down. The tropes were all there. It was sort of the samey. He kind of is the go-to when it comes to this glam period. And it's also an interesting way this whole thing came about. It's a mix of ideas. So he was going to adapt George Orwell's 1984. The state wouldn't give him the rights. He was going to do a Ziggy Stardust musical. That fell apart. But some of those ideas went into this album. And at the time, even though he was coming off of some successful albums, this was not that well reviewed. There were some people that didn't like it. Flash forward, now everybody name checks this as being so great and inventive and so forth. And one of the most controversial and talked about album covers of all time is the original version of this, which they then used on some of the reissues, which shows, the doggy parts.
Oh, nuts.
Which was really not that big of a deal. So, and it's also the original pressings that are super, super valuable. So Billboard, it got to number 5, but it got to number 1 in the UK, in Australia, and Canada. So again, he was on this roll. And there's also 2-disc version with lots of interesting alternate takes, bonus tracks, outtakes, so on and so forth. So I'm not keeping up with the comments. So I don't know what's going on. The people are laughing, but let's get into the music, right? So second track, Diamond Dogs. This introduces another David Bowie persona, Halloween Jack. It's a cool rocker, swagger. Love that song. Then tracks 3 through 5, Sweet Thing, Candidate, and Sweet Thing Reprise, sort of form a suite, moody, theatrical, emotional, artistic, which is very much what this album is. Rebel, like Diamond Dogs, an upbeat rocker, but this is a signature David Bowie track. 1984, and Sid, that's the song I'm picking. I think is very interesting. It kind of starts off, it sounds like Shaft or a blaxploitation song with the wah-wah. Strings kick in. I think this is just a fantastic. I'm going to coin this term instead of blaxploitation. I'm going to call it Bowie-sploitation because that's what it sounds like to me. It could have been on, any of those 70s movies. And then the 10-track Big Brother, also from that aborted 1984 project. A song that goes through several changes, pun intended for David Bowie fans. I think it's great. It flows right into Chant of the Ever Circling Skeletal Family. So again, I think this was Bowie leaving the glam behind because he had done it all, done it better than anybody else. I just think it's a fantastic album and very close second to me to Ziggy Stardust. Nothing will ever top that. But again, you take this, Aladdin Sane, and Diamond Dogs, magic to me.
Cool.
Yep.
Logan.
All right. Got to go with a sentimental one here. All right.
Carole King.
Or what's the other? Joan Baez. Yep. That's who it is. No.
Joan Jett.
Joan Baez. She
Joan
does my
Jett.
favorite Judas Priest song.
Yep.
No, I'm kidding. I like their version, but it's not my favorite. Yeah.
Anyway. probably the first supergroup that ever really did anything major and had a
I
career.
know what this is.
Yes. I'm talking Bad Company.
Good. Yeah.
Yep. Because what, you got two guys from Free, right? You got Paul Rogers and Simon Kirk, and then you got Boz Burrell, who was in King Crimson for an album, which isn't a very good album to me. I didn't like Islands that much. Sorry, Rand. I don't know if you like it.
Rand's like, no, it sucks.
Yeah, okay. Rand doesn't like it. All right, okay. So
Boy, what's wrong with Islands? Now I gotta go listen to it.
You'll probably love it, Sidney. That's how it
Is
works.
Robert Fripp's wife on it?
Toya? You probably didn't know her back then. I don't know. But and of course, Mick Ralphs was the guitarist who was in Mott the Hoople.
Oh, okay.
I think Christina mentioned Mott the Hoople a couple times.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just always loved this album. My dad actually got me into this one. Probably one of the first albums I ever heard all the way through. And when I heard it, man, I just played it over and over and over again. Kind of one of them things. Can't get enough. Great single. Rocksteady. I mean, all these songs just have great rock and roll riffs. And I always loved Mick Ralph's style of playing. He was when I got into playing guitar myself, I kind of learned a lot of stuff from him, kind of certain things, because I'm not somebody to do like the flashy thing. I can't do all that stuff. So somebody like Mick Ralphs, who kept it kind of simpler and can kind of like make it work with the melodies and things. I kind of like players like that.
Whatever
myself.
there, Ingve. I'm sure that you're a shredder.
Yeah, I'm no Ingve, all right. I'm no Richard Blackmore.
Ingve Collinstein.
You're more of
I'm more of the school of the Fogertys and the Mick Ralphs and people like that.
Logan's more
and
like Kurt Cobain level guitar player. No, I'm kidding.
The guy I'm going to talk about next, I kind of got some influence from as well. So, but we'll get there. I mean, Paul Rogers. I think he's one of my probably top 3 vocalists ever. I mean, I love pretty much everything he did, man. Ready for Love's on here. That's a great song, which was actually a Mott the Hoople song earlier. Yeah. And even the slower songs, I love Don't Let Me Down, The Way I Choose. They're kind of slower, mid-tempo kind of things. But, Moving On, another great, like, fast tempo kind of rocker there. Seagull's kind of an acoustic piece, which I thought was cool, shows off Rogers' vocals a little more. And yeah, I think Paul Rogers plays the acoustic on that track. So, but yeah, I think if I'm going to pick a song, I'm going to have Sidney play Bad Company when it comes that time, because
Bad Company by Bad Company from Bad Company.
On the album Bad Company.
Iron Maiden stole that idea from them. No, not really.
Yeah. Or maybe it was Sabbath. Who knows? Maybe Bad Company took it from Sabbath. But I just always loved Bad Company. That song, man. I mean, Paul Rogers piano playing, Mick Ralphs has that simple kind of but effective solo, and I just think everybody gels well on that track. I mean, just classic song, right? I mean, and that's pretty much all this album. I mean, everything on it's great, man. So
cool.
Oh, and I will mention for Rand, Mel Collins he plays saxophone on some of these songs. So Mel Collins is a King Crimson alumni, right? So kind of interesting to have him playing. I guess that's the connection with Boz, but yeah.
Geddy Lee mentioned Bad Company after they recorded, like in an interview clip, which is floating around. But they mentioned after they recorded Caress of Steel, he said they wanted us to sound more like Bad Company. They did not know what to think about that record because they were like, "Wait a minute, we don't like that. There's no radio hits on."
Maybe they wanted In the Mood Part 2 or something. I don't know.
Exactly. Fly by Night Part 2. Fly by
Day.
Day.
The opposite direction with that. Wow.
Yeah. Good choice, Logan. Yeah.
And me, Mike, and Will can claim Paul Rogers as one of ours. He became a Canadian citizen in 2011. He did. He moved to Vancouver. I think his wife is from Vancouver, so he moved here, and he did like the Paramount. Like,
funny enough,
Canadian now, and he's got like the British accent. And he's like, I'm Canadian.
Funny enough, I was just thinking about Paul Rogers today. I'm working on a list for a show I'm doing with Baby Cretin, and we're doing top songs from 2005. And I noticed that Queen and Paul Rogers did a live album. I really like. I'm just pontificating here for a second. I really like Queen with Paul Rogers. I love the Cosmos Rocks album.
That's a good album. It sounds
so if you ever
like
want to talk about,
you
ever want to talk about Queen and Paul Rogers, I'm down. I really love that combo.
Yeah, it shouldn't work because he's got like a bluesy voice. It's so different than Freddie Mercury, but it's good. Like,
when when I started working at United Rentals in 2006, we could bring CDs into work and we'd listen to them in the office, and everybody in the office hated the Queen and Paul Rogers. Like, oh, that's a terrible mix. Oh my God, I hate it. It doesn't sound anything like Freddie. And I'm like, no, it doesn't sound anything like Freddie.
Obviously.
But I really liked it. So just putting that seed in your head there, if you ever want to talk about Queen plus Paul Rogers, I've got a pretty good discography.
Hey, and I kind of forgot to mention the whole Swan Song thing, right? They were the first band kind of signed to Zeppelin's label, so that's kind of cool too. So,
musically, that's probably more similar to Free and Bad Company than it is Queen, anyways. The music, because it's more in his vein for stuff that he can sing, right? It's not really. And they did call it Queen and Paul Rogers, right? They didn't just call it Queen.
Plus. It's always
Paul
Queen
Rogers.
plus.
Yeah,
whoever
Queen
they work with, it's always. It's kind of, I like the way they do that. And it's been that way since the 90s when they did Queen plus George Michael. So they've been doing this Queen plus thing for decades.
Yeah. We need Queen plus Mike Ladano. We need that.
Man.
Mike. Sing Dragon Attack. Come on, you can do it.
I used to try to sing, but I could
Come on, sing Stone Cold Crazy. You can do it.
I always sing it like Hetfield. Stone Cold Crazy.
Oh, God, the Metallica version. Oh, God.
I love Ready for Love.
That's awesome.
Every time that comes on the radio, I sing the crap out of that thing.
All right, cool. So
I would do it, but I don't want to upset anyone.
That's all right.
You're gonna offend somebody. Watch out.
I'm ready for love. Oh, baby, I'm ready for love.
Alex, he's singing to you.
He just offended me. Man, you offended me.
I hit A minor. I have perfect pitch. I can't handle it.
Oh, all right, cool. All right, so I'm going with my top two. This is embarrassing. I don't even own them because, like Mike, I'm so picky with like getting the versions with all the songs available, and so my top two. There's UK only 2005 releases, and I'm not paying the money that it costs to get them. I like them, but I don't know. I'll have to go to the UK and hope that they're cheap in some store there. But like, anyways, I have this version of it. So this is a weird one. This one had a UK release and a US, or I guess North America release. I'm going with the original UK one, but I will show this because it's the US one. So Queen, Desolation Boulevard, or sorry, Queen. Look, the band that Queen stole from. No.
Sweet.
Sweet. But I'm going with the UK version, not this one. But yeah, I'm going with the UK version of this. This is the North America. This is basically
The Man with the Golden Arm.
Most people in the US will know, in Canada will know this only. It's basically a combination of the UK Desolation Boulevard and Sweet Fanny Adams. So it's kind of like a, I don't know, I'm trying to think of other albums where they did that, where they combined two different, well, with the Beatles, right?
Triumph.
I guess, technically.
Triumph.
Yeah, Triumph, the second. Yes, Rock and Roll Machine was a combination of, so I'm going with Sweet Desolation Boulevard. So many bands have covered songs by these guys. I even made like a list of some of the people that covered songs off of this. So 16s was covered, Solid Gold Brass was covered, Turn It Down was covered. Fox on the Run's probably been covered to death. But yeah, it's just a great album all the way through. It's glam rock, but it's heavy. The songs that they wrote themselves are always the better songs. They had Mike Chapman and Nicky Chin writing songs for them. They did not like that though, because I think it was the Mick Tucker, the drummer, basically made some comment that like, yeah, they were good at writing just cheesy, simple pop songs, but we couldn't like we wanted to write our own music. We were into like Deep Purple and stuff that was challenging, and they just wanted to write straightforward like hooky pop songs. And apparently there was one song they said there were so many songs that were written for them that went to other artists, and the only one that they actually confirmed, because they didn't want to like name drop like bands, and they didn't want to really trash any bands that decided to go and do these songs, they rejected. But the one that they did admit to being offered was that stupid song Tiger Feet by Mud. And they turned it down. And I think it was Andy Scott, the guitar player, made a comment basically saying anyone would have had a hit with that stupid song. It's just the kind of song that, yeah, you're going to have a hit with that kind of thing. It's just so simple and goofy, but he's like, we're not doing this song. But yeah, everything on here is just classic. Just like, what can I say? And yeah, this actually, the UK version is the original version of Fox on the Run, which was not a hit. It was the non-single version. So that whole keyboard thing, the synthesizer is actually removed. It's a lot more raw, heavier rockin' version of it with like a really good solo at the end. I don't know. I've always loved Desolation Boulevard. Yeah, the American version's great too because it's a combination of great songs from two albums, but I got to go with the original UK one. Like there's some good songs that you're missing out on. Like Medusa is the one that I'm picking, and that's just a great song. And yeah, obviously it's about Medusa. There's Man with the Golden Arm, which is
Yeah,
basically a cover.
that's from a movie with Frank
from a
Sinatra. He's
movie.
a junkie.
Yeah,
That's
Man
really
with the
good.
Golden. I know Logan would hate that because there's like a 7 minute. It's 8 minutes. 6 minutes is drum
Oh
solo.
yeah, drum solo. Yeah, I played it before because we talked about it. I remember.
But you put on
I don't think I
headphones,
hated
like
it. I mean, it was
holy
all right.
crap, Mick Tucker's such a good drummer.
Yep.
Like
Yeah, how do
probably
you
my
hate Mick
favorite
Tucker?
drummer. He was
Hey,
just,
I didn't say I did. Don't throw me under the bus.
and what's great is you got three different
See how
singers.
rumors get started?
Yeah, you got three guys singing. You got Brian Connolly, the main vocalist, Andy Scott on guitar, who also sang, and Steve Priest, the bass player.
Oh,
All unique,
great.
different voices. Sadly, the only one that's still alive is Andy Scott. The other three are all now gone. Brian passed away a long time ago. He was young. He struggled with some addiction. I think before recording this, or actually Sweet Fanny Adams, yeah, like in early '74. He was beaten up pretty badly outside of a nightclub. There's conflicting stories. One, Steve Priest thinks it was a setup job and that Brian was like flirting with some guy's girlfriend after a concert, and they found out and it was targeted. Then Andy Scott claims that it was just he went out there was some hooligans like standing in front of his Mercedes and like jumping on it, and he got confrontation. So who knows what the real truth is or what happened? But they apparently stepped on his throat. He ended up basically losing a lot of range in his vocals because the surgery he needed to repair the damage. So the other guys ended up having to step up and sing a lot. He still sings on, but like if you watch some of the live footage from him after that, his voice is more just raspy. He can't like hit the high notes. It's just more a rasp. But it's a shame because he had a great voice. But the other guys are no slouches either. They're all great. Yeah, always loved the Sweet. They're one of my probably favorite bands of the '70s. So yeah, this was an easy one for me. So yeah, Mr. Ladano, you're up.
Okay, so just to be clear, I'm allowed to swear, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to take my time on this.
Is it a children's show?
I'm being serious.
No,
I want to take my time on this one a bit because I fucked up when I sent you the clip on Monday. So on Monday, I was like, I committed to way too many shows this week, and I have to pick one to drop out of. And Saturday was a day that I wanted to rest. So I said, Sidney, I can't do the show on Saturday. I'm sorry. I'll send you some clips. And I sent him a clip for this number one pick, and then it hasn't sat right with me all week. So yeah, at the last minute here, I've decided to switch my number one pick because it really is obvious to me that it was totally wrong.
Same band?
But yes.
Okay, well then I know what it is.
Right, exactly. So just to back up a tad, I picked this wrong initially because I was hung up on the production.
Okay.
And when I think of 1974, for whatever reason, probably because it's the debut album, I always think of this album first. So I went with my first answer, which is the debut album by Kiss, and I gave Sidney some reasons why I picked this, and I think I picked Black Diamond from this album, and then I was like, but that's not my favorite.
You picked Strutter, actually.
I picked Strutter. Okay, sorry, I picked Strutter. And I love Kiss. Come on, look, I've got Ace Frehley on my battle jacket here.
I thought you were going to show a tattoo for a second. I was
I have the Paul Stanley. I'm not going to take my
Ace Frehley tramp stamp. I'm like,
I have the Paul Stanley rose on my arm. So like, yeah, I got a Kiss. I have a Kiss tattoo. They're my favorite band of all time. So obviously, okay. So it wasn't sitting right with me that I picked the debut, but I went with kind of like my first thought. And then I'm thinking to myself, but Mike, whenever you talk about your favorite albums of all time, you talk about Born Again by Black Sabbath. And you talk about Hotter Than Hell by Kiss. So what do those two albums have in common? Terrible, notoriously terrible production. But Hotter Than Hell, it's in my top 3 albums of all time. I can't deny it. And I'll tell you the story, which was I was in the 8th grade. And Logan's mom called him a nerd earlier, but when I was in the 8th grade, I really was. Like, I was like the second skinniest kid in school. Like, the bullies really went hard on me. This kid named Stephen Hartman, who also picked on me, but I kicked the crap out of him in the 8th grade. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Stephen, if you're watching this, I am not liable for this.
First week of school, this would have been September of '85. I get a phone call from a neighbor that I went to school with, and he really wanted my Atari 2600 video game for Superman. I had this. As a side note, it was actually my sister's video game, and I traded away her copy of Superman, which she's never forgiven me for, but it opened my door to Kiss. He said, I will give you my copies of Kiss Alive, Kiss Hotter Than Hell, and I can't remember what else. Now, my next door neighbor, George, he was the guy who opened the door to Kiss for me in the first place. He was a massive Kiss fan. He loved Gene Simmons. His favorite rock star of all time was Gene Simmons, and he was accumulating a Kiss collection. And I knew for a fact which 3 Kiss records he still needed to complete his collection, because he was like, if you ever see these 3 albums, I'll give you anything. I'll give you anything for them. And it's like, yeah, like I'm in grade 8. Like, where am I going to see these albums? But lo and behold, he needed Hotter Than Hell, The Elder, and Kiss Killers. And into my lap falls Hotter Than Hell. So I traded the Atari game. I got the Kiss records. I played Hotter Than Hell. And then I phoned up George and I said, George, what if I told you I had a copy of Hotter Than Hell in my hands right now? I'll be over in 5 minutes. On the door, he's there. And I knew I had him by the ball sack. So I traded him Hotter Than Hell. I actually traded him Hotter Than Hell because I got so much for it. First of all, he taped it for me, so at least I would get a copy to listen to. I got from him Iron Maiden Flight of Icarus 12-inch single. I got from him Black Sabbath Paranoid on cassette. I got from him a Sony Walkman. I got from him an Abbott and Costello Who's on First record that I ended up giving to my dad for Christmas that year because he was such a huge Abbott and Costello fan. And I may have gotten another 12-inch single. I may have gotten Running Free by Iron Maiden from him as well, all for Hotter Than Hell. But then I played that cassette over and over and over again. Now, I'm just gonna I don't know, maybe overshare a bit too much, but this wasn't a happy time in my life. Like I said, the bullying was coming at me hard in grade 8. It was really coming at me hard to the point where I like faked sick every single Thursday so that I wouldn't have to go to shop class with these bully assholes. But the one thing that kept me going that year was Hotter Than Hell, which I played over and over and over again. And we had to do an assignment in French grade 8 class where we had to like do a little spiel, like introducing ourselves in French. And what's Michael in French? Michel. You can bet those fucking assholes went at me fucking hard that year. So the least I could do was at least have some good music playing behind me when I had to record my spiel. So it was Got to Choose. And I still remember that I let the tape run extra long. So like I'm doing my spiel in French with Got to Choose as my backing music. And then, baby, you know I heard the neighbors say. And I just let it run a little bit extra long. And I did Kiss for my speech that year. We had to do like a 5-minute speech memorized. You know that. I did Kiss. And man, did the teacher ever hate me every single time I said the phrase Hotter Than Hell. I went to a Catholic school. You can imagine what happened when the look, the laser focus from her eyes when I said the 3 words, Hotter Than Hell. And then another memory that I have is that somebody found a Kiss sticker in one of the cabinets. And it'd been there since like the 70s, you know. But somebody blamed me for putting the Kiss sticker there in the cabinets. I somehow got blamed for that, even though I'd been there since like Alive 2. It was weird, man. But I swear to God, like you talk about some people like Dee Snider, you know, they talk about how music got them through those high school years. I'm not fucking kidding when I say it. You know, this album, more than any other album, got me through that very difficult year. And my song is Got to Choose for all of the reasons that I just pontificated about. This album doesn't sound good. That's undeniable. People have begged for a remix for years, but if the original master tapes don't sound good, then you'd have to use AI to clean it up. And I'd say no thanks to that. We were talking, Will, earlier about Born Again by Black Sabbath and how a remix might clean it up and make it more desirable to listen to. That wouldn't be the case for me with Hotter Than Hell. This is the mix that I'm used to. It sounds like Peter Criss is not playing a snare drum. It sounds like he's playing like a 1/4 inch thick piece of sheet metal.
A table.
With a hammer, and it's like, I don't want to have a different experience with this album. I love that like wall of sound vocal.
It sounds raw, but
when the
great
gang
songs.
vocals kick in, like it's like overdriven wall of sound. And for my money, I really think that at least 9 of the 10 songs in this album are top. The only one I actually don't care for too much is Strange Ways, which may, okay. So some people don't disagree with that, but this truly has some of my favorite Kiss songs of all time. All the Way is definitely one of them. Mainline is definitely one of them. Coming Home. Yeah, I have said enough. We need to let it go over to Will before I make this.
No problem, but I agree with you on the the albums that were recorded in bad production are a representation of the time, right? And what was going on with the band in the studio. It's like the Vapor Trails debate. The original versus remix, right? Both sound great. I think the remix brings it a lot of justice, but I love the original too. So,
Mike, what song are you gonna go with?
The original is the mix that I go for when I listen to Vapor Trails. It's the one that I feel. I guess
it's just in your face. Yeah, love it. Go ahead, Mike.
Mike, what song were you going with? You said "Come Home."
We're going to go with "Got to Choose."
Got to Choose.
That was the song that I used with that French presentation, and I associate it so strongly. The happy ending. The happy ending here is, this was the 8th grade, and we all moved on to high school after that, and 95% of the kids went to the Catholic high school, and I went to the public high school system and escaped all those assholes. I got to get the phone. I'll be right back.
Cool. Mr. Will.
Family.
Sure thing. So I got a quick story about high school. Mike just prompted my memory. I went to a Catholic high school in the 80s, and this is before I was into Rush. I had a lot of Iron Maiden t-shirts and Black Sabbath, and I was into all that early rock metal. So I used to wear my Killers t-shirt. I had Killers on the back of my black t-shirt. I used to wear that underneath my uniform shirt. And I can't tell you how many times the teachers would pull me aside and say, "We can see it through your shirt. And why are you wearing that? Because it's representing the devil," and all this bullshit that went on in the 80s with all of that music, of course. And you're going to, you go down that path, you're going to become a bad person, all that. So I had to stop wearing my Killers. That was my favorite one to wear because it was so upsetting for the teachers. It was the cheap uniform quality of the dress shirt. You could see Killers right through it, and every time I wore it, I got in trouble. So anyway, it took me a bit of a flashback there to high school days.
Cool. So that's your pick, Killers.
Yeah, that's my pick. I'm all done. Goodbye.
8 years older, 8 years early.
So you probably know what my number one is for 1974.
Will's Rush page.
I don't know. I had to go with, of course,
Carly Simon.
Yeah, that John Rutsey record. It's a new guy on the,
It's the solo album.
Pretty good, yes. So when we talk about that era of Rush, there's actually quite a lot of information because the record itself was produced originally in Canada on Moon Records label, which a lot of you probably know, and then later reproduced on picked up by Mercury after distribution of the Moon Records LP and the singles that came out in '73 that hit the radio stations, and then it was originally picked up, played by Donna Helper, of course, WMMS in Cincinnati, and then of course they became very popular. People thought it was the new Zeppelin at the time, so they called in, and the rest is history.
It's a nice.
But the what I want to show you first off, let's back up a little bit. This is the 2014 box set. It's pretty thick. This is the Rush Rediscovered box set representing the 40th anniversary. This is a pretty awesome box set. It's got an original or a very high end, so like 200 gram or 180 gram produced LP, obviously, of the original album. And what's interesting is that they put the original Moon record label on the back of this, which is pretty cool. I thought that was a nice touch. This box set actually came with a number of interesting things, including this extremely large Rush poster, which is very cool. And I still have that framed, or not framed, obviously, but
That is cool.
folded up to keep it safe. And there were other interesting bits inside this box set. I'll show you very quickly. Just get this out here. There's the back. It's quite sizable box set, not as big as some of the Rush box sets. There is a Rush family tree, which breaks down the history of the band from the very beginnings to
Holy crap.
Obviously not current lineup with Chapter 4 of Rush with Annika Niles, but up to the Neil Peart era, which is kind of cool. The box set itself has what they call like the old reel-to-reel master. Yeah, that's cool, Mike. The old reel-to-reel mastering notes from the recording sessions. And also, I thought there was more in there. For some reason, they threw this in for fun. This is just a cardboard thing that could be framed, which is kind of cool. And then you've got a copy of the reel-to-reel from the original masterings. Now, also within this package, behind me up on the wall, you can see the Moon 45. So this is the original 1973 Moon 45. 2,000 of these were produced and 2,000 promo copies. They have two songs on there. One Rush original, Lee Lifeson and Rutsey, written by Lee and Lifeson. And the other one is a cover song. Actually, I'll tell you what that
It's not
is.
Fade Away.
Not Fade Away, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's correct. Yep.
that has been physically unavailable completely, aside from that single, until they did the Rush 50 box set, which has it on CD now. But
Exactly.
But that is like what you saw my jaw, right? Like that's the first time I've ever seen that ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
You know what? It's a funny story. I bought that when I was 18 years old from a guy who had two copies. I paid $15, and apparently they go for about $2,000 now. So when I found that out about 10 years ago, I had it framed, and below it there are those black and white photo cards, which actually came from the Rush box set that I just showed you, and I had those framed to go with it. And then I've got some memorabilia and stuff there as well. So for the actual songs, if you haven't heard them, check them out. They're on my site, on my YouTube page, and they're available. Just Google 1973, not Rush, not Fade Away, and You Can't Fight It is the B-side song, and that's written by Lee and Rutsey, as I mentioned. Very rare piece, and thought of as like a holy grail for Rush collectors. So very, very cool. The Rush LP was actually released on the Moon label as well, the original Rush LP, under the code, the ID of MN100, and that is the original Moon pressing. Catalog number is what I was looking for. Released on March 1st, 1974. 8 songs, including obviously Finding My Way, Working Man, Here Again, In the Mood, and so forth. What You're Doing, as Mike mentioned earlier, all great songs. I think most have been played live throughout their career, if I'm not mistaken. Need Some Love has been done live, not on official recordings, but on many bootlegs from the early days. Take a Friend has been done live. On also bootlegs. Here Again, one of my favorite bootleg recordings. Alex does a very ripping solo, like 4-minute solo right in the middle of that song, if you or as that solo portion of that song, if you haven't heard that. In the Mood obviously was a show closer for many tours for many decades, and I still remember, I'm old enough to remember when they were still closing shows within the Mood. Before and After, a great song, not as well known. And of course, Working Man is a classic Rush song. I think they've played Working Man every tour, maybe with the exception of 1 or 2 tours, but it has been a show closer or part of an encore since the very beginning. And it has that, of course, Working Man has that iconic bass riff that everybody knows. The Getty is actually sped up over the years. Yeah, exactly. And when you hear that, it just gets everybody up off their seats, and extremely exciting piece to play, live piece to witness too. The historical importance of this record, the LP, the original version, debuted before Mercury reissued it in 1974. So that's around the time that they were getting known in the U.S. market. Like many bands in Canada, they had to go to the U.S. market to give some distribution, get those singles out, and the Moon record LP to the radio producers, the music producers, and get that play. And that's where Donna Helper comes into the story. She played Working Man, and that's when her phone lit up, and people were saying, "What is this? New Led Zeppelin record?" No, it's Rush, and then the rest is history. So she is indicted as being one of the main people to launch the career of Rush. And of course, this is all that happened before Neil Peart joined the band. So John Rutsey obviously left the band. Neil came in full force in Fly By Night, the second record. So that is the history of the Moon LP, the Moon 45, and of course the Mercury release of the first Rush album. So I won't get into too much more detail, but I would have to choose for my song, Sidney. I think I'm going to go with Here Again.
Okay, cool.
Because it's a ripping long 7-minute, 30-second song. If you want a bootleg copy as opposed to studio, I can give that to you with the exceptional Alex Lifeson guitar solo. He actually solos on Take a Friend and Here Again. There's a couple of interesting versions. There is also a bootleg from those early days that I have where they do Working Man and they go into Bytor. They don't say anything about Bytor, but you can hear about 5 minutes of Bytor sections from Bytor within the Working Man solo. They do the Working Man solo section, and then they go into the Bytor, and then they close it out at the end of the Working Man song. So that also, if you haven't heard that, it's on my site. Check it out. So thank you.
Nice. Cool. I thought you were going to go Need Your Love, because when we did our Rush show, you picked Need Your Love as your favorite off of that.
Yes, well, it changes every day.
It changes.
Depending on what I'm listening to.
Is this the only repeat album pick so far?
Rush?
I think so.
Yes, I believe so. Wow.
No, I'm in good company.
Yeah, it might
That's
be.
great.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Rand, what's your number one?
Well, I can guarantee you I won't pick that album. I've never heard that record.
Wow. Actually?
Oh, wow.
It just hasn't, I don't know. I don't know why.
Rand,
I've only heard
Rand's too busy listening to Lamb. He
songs
doesn't have time. All right.
on All the
No
World's
Lamb.
a Stage. I've heard them.
Yeah.
Hang on, I got a phone call.
Yeah, it's
I
not
already
one.
know what Rand's number one
Peter
is.
Gabriel. It's Peter Gabriel. Watch out.
It's not one that people think of. They think Neil Peart, of course, right? So they don't think about that first record, but some serious rock and roll on that first album. And it's
Sorry
aggressive.
about that.
Yeah. Rush wasn't
wanted to know
actually
what
happy with the production either. They played a lot louder than what you hear on that record. So,
Okay. My turn?
Yep.
I'm going to make this real simple, guys.
I already know what it is. So. Yeah.
This is the greatest concept album ever made, in my opinion.
Does the concept make
Tales
sense
from
on this one?
Tales from Topographic Oceans. And the words do make sense to me. I get John Anderson. I always have. He's my favorite singer of all time. This is an amazing box set. This has so much.
Wow.
All CDs, LPs, poster, everything. Just incredible. 4 songs. I'm going to choose The Remembering.
Sorry, what was it again?
Whoa.
The Remembering.
The Remembering.
Logan's got it.
I sure do, Rand.
Awesome. Yep. the first time I heard that, it was on 8-track. My friend and I were driving, and the Revealing Science of God came on. And with 8 tracks, you can't really back anything up. You have to wait for it to come around again if you heard something you liked. We listened to that about 8 times in a row before we went on to the next tune. Driving around Sacramento.
Cool.
It was the Young Christians See It, because we were going to church and stuff. So it was when we heard Young Christians See It from the beginning, we were like, oh my God, we got to hear that again. So that 8-track just kept spinning.
Nice.
8-track.
But yeah, people are saying 73, but no, it actually in the US it came out
January
in
9th,
74.
1974. Is when I
Oh,
bought it.
Rand sounds like he's had this conversation before. I don't know
Yes.
why.
Oh, many times.
It's that
Yeah.
tone in his voice. I don't know.
It doesn't matter what happened in England. I'm an American.
Yeah,
Lived in
there you go.
California. I bought the record in 74. Get over it.
Yes. See. All right.
I hate semantics.
Yes.
People
exactly.
can bitch all they want. I don't care. I
Yeah,
believe in
it's
accuracy.
very close because it's December in the UK.
Yeah,
and
it's close, but
January
the
in
year
the
does
US,
change on January 1st.
The Sidney and Logan show, I don't see them whining.
I don't care. Like, I don't care. It came out in any country that year.
Hey, okay
Alex
with
is
me,
gonna
Randy.
pick that
Okay with me.
Santana album for 91. No, I'm kidding. That would be pushing it.
Guess what I'm picking for 91 now?
Don't.
I'll be dead when we get to 91.
Oh my God. Oh,
Did
geez.
Vinnie Vincent release a record in 91?
Alex, all right. I'm serious.
So thank you, Michael, for sharing your story, because I love stuff like that. And I identify not that album, but other albums like that got me through what is hell, and that is middle school, right? And high school, but middle school especially. But I don't have a connection to that album, but I have a connection to that band. And that is why I'm picking the debut. And this, I said this on other shows, this is what got me into music without me knowing it got me into music, because I was a kid. I knew their identity. I liked the merchandise. I liked the comic book. I saw them as superheroes. And then I got into their music later on. But as a 7, 8-year-old kid, I didn't connect with the music and the albums. But my aunt is the one that, got me into the world. So I had posters of Kiss on my wall. I had Kiss puzzles and things without owning any of their music. But once I got into them, then I became a huge fan. And this album over time has risen to almost the top. And some days I might even say it is my favorite Kiss album. So let's go back to the beginning, though. Most of this, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but most of this was written by Paul and Gene in their Wicked Lester days and carried forward to before even entering this album or entering the studio. They basically had these songs. So released February 8th, and the earliest pressings, which is what I have, does not have Kissing Time.
Correct.
And what a great treat that is, as much as I love this album, not to have that on this album. Now, I do have the CD, which adds it. I don't skip it. I'll let it play. But when I want to hear it in its real format, I play the vinyl. And there's about 100,000 copies initially were released without it. Then they wanted to have what they thought would be a hit, and they put it on, put it out as a single, and then put it on the pressing. So moving forward, those copies had it. And two interesting things about the cover. One, Ace put silver hairspray in his hair, and Peter Criss is the only one that did not do his own makeup. And the makeup artist that did that, it's elaborate. So if he were to do that moving forward, he'd have to start at 4 a.m. before the concert to flesh it out the way he did. So the album, though, in the U.S. on Billboard only got to 87, in Canada 82, Japan 54. So out of the gate, not this a big band, but and while there are, to me, a few okay songs, there are plenty of Kiss classics, and that is classic with a K, by the way. And also I take this with the historical context because I'm very big on debut albums. I love what Will had to say about Rush and all the history. It's like if you don't have that debut album, obviously you have nothing to come after that. Now, how good is the debut versus what they release later is the other thing. But to me, Kiss at this point is now on their path when the live comes out even more so and get into the merchandise and all that. And then they sort of, Gene saw what the Beatles did in merchandising and took that tenfold with what he would go on and do not only in the 70s, but after that. So not saying this is a 10 out of 10 album, but there are plenty of 10 songs on here. So easily my pick. And those songs are Strutter, Stone Cold Classic, Firehouse, love it. Cold Gin, love it. Deuce, love it. Black Diamond,
Yeah.
absolutely love it. Probably my favorite Peter Criss vocal. I know Paul Stanley starts it, but so
barely. That's like a 2-second.
100,000 Years, great deep track. So could I do without the instrumental? And like I said, Casino, okay. But when you have those other songs that are so strong and that I now keep going back to more and more, I just couldn't not pick it as my top pick. So to me, my favorite album in 1974 is the Kiss debut.
Cool.
Very cool.
Mr. Logan.
Alex, if I may, you talk about the instrumental track, and that and Kiss in Time would be like the two weak spots for me on that album. But if you hear the early bootlegs from 74, they were playing the instrumental. It was called Acrobat at the time. But then it segued into another track that we call You're Much Too Young. Oh, and that's a killer song. It's awesome. It's really fast. It's got a great riff. And it would have been amazing if they put Acrobat / You're Much Too Young on the album instead of Love Theme from Kiss is what it's called. Yeah. But they recycled that riff into another song later on called Detroit Rock City. So if that had happened, we wouldn't have got Detroit Rock City. It's like one of those alternate universes where you could imagine, but it would never be right after that. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
And Gene would tell you that was his master plan all along. Right?
Well, he's a genius, right? He's the self-made genius.
Cool. Logan, your turn to talk about Kiss. I'm curious.
Yeah. Hotter than hell.
All right. There it is.
There you go.
I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I could not have it, man. I mean, that was, like I said with Bad Company, man, that was one of the first rock and roll albums I ever heard from the 70s, I mean, that got me hooked. And, kind of what I was talking about Mick Ralph's, Ace Frehley was kind of part of the reason I wanted to start playing, man, I mean, all his solos, I mean, everything on this album's killer. I mean, every single song to me. I know Mike doesn't, Mike's in the Dan camp with Strange Ways, but I love Strange Ways. So I can't agree there. But, I mean, I just love everything on it.
Do you know the fun fact about Strange Ways?
What is it, Mike? Tell me.
Peter Criss recorded a drum solo for Strange Ways, and I think it extended the song out to 7 or 8 minutes. And he said,
wow,
if my drum solo doesn't make it on the album, I'm quitting the band. And I guess the band listened to it and they're like, this is boring as shit. We're cutting the solo. If he threatens to quit, he's good. Anyway, obviously Peter Criss didn't quit, but that is the story, is that he recorded like a 3-4 minute drum solo for that song.
Strange Ways?
For Strange Ways.
I want to hear that now.
I have never heard a bootleg of it. And
I'm assuming it would be at the end, or is it like in the middle?
In the middle, I think in the middle.
That works more at the end, I would say, than in the middle, but yeah.
There's certain Kiss bootleg things that have never really surfaced. And there's also so much legendarium around Kiss that maybe some of these stories aren't even true. They have so many false memories of, we played to 250,000 people in Brazil or whatever. And they start to believe their own press. You don't know what to believe anymore with Kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you never know, right?
Yeah.
And yeah,
he slept with 2 million women or whatever the hell he's. Yeah.
Right.
I've never even met that many people of women that he said he's claimed he slept with.
Right. It starts at 2,000 and then it's 3,000 and.
Something about the album cover you guys didn't mention too, isn't the whole thing with Ace, right? He got in an accident or something, so it's like half his face is airbrushed or something.
That's
kind of
correct.
Thing.
They could only apply makeup to half of his face. And the other half was like airbrushed in after the fact or mirrored using, photography.
No.
And same with the back over there. And apparently this was like a real wild party. these
Is
photos.
it true that Ace is drunk in that photo and Gene's holding him up because he couldn't sit up? Is that's I heard
It
that
could have been
was a-
painkillers.
I heard that was a
It
thing.
could have
But,
been painkillers.
Never know. Yeah.
His face was mangled from that car accident. So.
wow.
Yeah,
I don't know any
again,
photos.
love every song on it, man. I mean, it's great
Again,
song, great
like-
album. You know.
You can't believe Gene every time he trashes these guys and says Ace is drunk. Yeah, sure, Ace was probably drunk a lot of the time, but that's just Gene's go-to answer now about either of these two guys. They were wasted, and I don't know. I'm not gonna. Yeah, you know what? I am gonna say it. I find it in really kind of poor taste. I just got an email this morning from Kiss Online, and it's like, choose what Ace songs you want to hear on the coming Kiss cruise. You know, Gene and Paul spent years trashing this guy. Deservedly so or not, I don't give a crap. But now, choose what Ace songs you want to hear on the Kiss cruise.
He's not allowed to say anything or defend himself. Yeah.
I don't know. Something about this is rubbing me the wrong way. I'm a big Ace fan. I'll tell you something else about Hotter Than Hell, and that's that when I was in the 8th grade, I decided that my nickname was Ace. You never name yourself. It never sticks. My actual nickname wasn't Ace. That kid stuck me with a worse one.
Even when Ace died, Gene made some stupid comment. Oh, he probably fell because he was wasted. I'm like, really? You're still...
You don't speculate about stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know?
And then right next day, he's apologizing and walking it back. It's like, what the hell?
Well, that's what he does.
They weren't ever great people, man, right? I mean, I just love the music. I
Yeah,
never claimed that they were great people.
That's a good point, Logan, and I think it's an important point, is that we're here to talk about the music, and what happens behind the scenes is really... I'm not necessarily a fan of that. Sometimes there's great stories. Like, I know, Alex, you're a big fan of the Black Crowes. There's some great, good punch-up stories about Chris and Rich. But they're still family. They're still together. They still love each other. With Kiss, I get the feeling that these guys kind of detest each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Gene and Paul are as friends as they act, as much as they act.
Oh, they don't even try to act anymore, Sidney. They've given up on that act.
They're not friends.
Talk about violent brothers. What about Ray and Dave Davis?
Oh boy, I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah, they got banned. They got banned from club after club after club because they were fighting on stage.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
and not just arguing. I mean, they were really going to it with fist blows and all that.
I think you get a combination of two factors, which is you get these guys that are barely out of high school and they become rock stars and they don't know how to behave as adults because they've never had to. And then you get also the drugs and alcohol contributing, and you end up with Ace Frehley and Peter Criss.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't drink. I hate alcohol. Makes me dizzy.
This is my drug.
Oh my god!
Like you can tell when I've been caffeined up because my energy levels just start to.
I drink Blackberry Hint. I like this. It's mixed with water mostly, but it has a little bit of a flavor, and it's really good. No sugar, no calories.
Yeah, even Gene was doing like his solo shows, like in these little small clubs that he likes to do, and he's got like his main guy that does a lot of the singing, but Gene will obviously go and sing a lot of stuff too. So Gene started singing and the crowd was loving it. Gene actually sounded good. Everyone was like chanting, "Sing, Gene, sing, Gene, sing, Gene, sing." He says, he's like, "They want me to sing one more." He's like, "Yeah, I'll sing the rest of the show if you want. I can still sing. I'm not Paul Stanley." What? What?
Again, we're saying friends. Gene and Paul aren't friends. They're business partners.
They act like it.
Different.
Yeah.
Big difference.
You ever see that one interview with Gene and Paul on the Revenge Tour when Gene's talking about how many women he's sleeping with, and Paul just kind of goes, "Well, you can tell stories, and they're not really true." And Gene goes, "Can I take you aside for a second? Why are you doing this? Why are you turning me down in front of the cameras?" You ever see that one? It's wild.
He's like, "Oh, it's not about groupies or sex anymore." He's like, "You grow out of that," and the Gene's like standing right there.
Yeah. And then Gene just turns to me, "Can I talk to you for a second?" No, they don't even pretend to be friends.
It's just kind of funny.
But I love Kiss, and Alex loves Kiss, and Logan loves Kiss, and I love that we had 3 freaking Kiss albums, which I didn't expect.
Well, I saw them both going into the casino in Corning, California, where they got a thing called Rock and Brews, where Paul and Gene own that, and we saw them walking in, and of course they had protection around those guys like you can't believe. It was like the president showing up. It was unbelievable. You couldn't get anywhere near them, but they were, like you said, business partners. They own that together.
Yeah.
But I'm going to eat there tomorrow for free.
You're gonna order some cold gin with your meal? No.
I love the
They
got-
hypocrisy of Gene Simmons. He's always so very proud of never having taken a drink in his life, but he'll sell it to you happily.
Yeah, kind of funny. Yeah, exactly.
Alcohol will never touch his stuff ever, but for $5.95, you can.
Yeah, he'll trash Ace for it and all that, and then he'll
Yeah,
sell it.
yeah.
So it's just like whatever.
What's your number one, Sidney?
All right, my number one. I picked the same band twice. I'm sure you'll probably be able to figure out what it is now. It's the same band that I showed earlier, Sweet. But I'm going with the other album, Sweet Fanny Adams. So again, like I said, this is like a combination of Desolation Boulevard, the UK one, and Sweet Fanny Adams. You got Set Me Free on here, that's just such a fast, driving heavy song. All sorts of like heavy metal bands have covered Set Me Free. Saxon did it, Stryper, Vince Neil, the band Heathen, Eric Singer Project, a band called Skulls from the 80s, some band called Weasel Face, and some other band called Black Earth. I don't know, but yeah. Weasel Face.
Weasel Face.
Yeah, I don't know. There was
That's
like
a terrible name.
There's a Sweet tribute album apparently. That's where that's from. So there's some weird bands on there. But yeah, the song Sweet F.A., another crazy heavy one, which was actually covered on David Ellison's. He did an album called, oh my god, what was that called? And it's got On Through the Night as the album cover. Def Leppard. It's got the truck flying guitar truck thing. Oh my god, what's that called? No Cover, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, I think so.
Ironically, even though it's a cover album called No Cover. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, they do Sweet F.A. and Todd Kearns is actually doing the vocals.
When we first heard that on that record, we had no idea what that meant.
It's Fanny Adams, yeah, Sweet Fanny Adams.
We didn't know because that Fanny Adams was never released in the United States.
No, that's the thing. I think these were only, it was only released in UK. So then, like I said, what they did was they combined two albums to make the North American version of Desolation.
So we made up our own.
AC/DC's another band that did that.
Yeah.
And Milli Vanilli and Backstreet Boys.
Why do you know the Backstreet? What?
I used to work at a CD store.
Okay. Mike wants it that way. Or is that NSYNC? I don't know. I don't know my boy bands.
So we made up our own when we were listening to that song.
Yeah.
We made up our own. Sweet effing ass.
What? What?
We didn't know. We figured that's what it was.
Like there's even like this album especially. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of the songs on here have actually been covered, but the more notable ones, Pat Benatar did No You Don't. She does a great version of that for the original, but yeah, she did a great version of that. Joan Jett did AC/DC. The song AC/DC, yeah, Sweet F.A., like I said, David Ellison. Some like lesser known bands did like Restless, Into the Night. And again, you got multiple singers on here. Andy Scott's singing. He's a great singer as well, the guitar player. Steve Priest nails it on vocals. He's got such a weird, quirky voice, Steve Priest. And they have those Queen vocal harmonies too. And they
my God. Love Is Like Oxygen has the best vocals on anything. I've never heard anything like that till Queen.
Yeah, their harmonizing was just as good as Queen. I don't know. On some days I honestly some days I like Sweet better than Queen. I don't know. They really appeal to me. Like Set Me Free, just for that song alone. Like you wouldn't have bands like Iron Maiden or any of the heavy bands from the 80s without a band like Sweet. It's a shame that people just know like Ballroom Blitz and Fox on the Runs, which are still good songs, but there's so much more in their catalog than just the
Ontario
radio
band covered Set Me Free?
What was that?
What Ontario band covered Set Me Free?
Did Helix do it?
Yes, they did.
I think I heard that. I didn't think it was that great, to be honest.
It's not that great, but they did cover it.
Yeah. It's a song that's meant to be done like really fast. The only one that I thought Heathen did the best job of it. But yeah.
Heathen's great.
Yeah. They kind of kept
Neil
it. Vince Neil's is actually pretty good. But
with Steve Stevens.
But yeah, because Steve Stevens is a guitar player, so of course it's going to be great. But yeah, I'd listened to the David. I didn't realize I was looking this up today. I listened to the David Ellison one. It's all right. It's good for what it is, but it's not the original. I mean, I don't know. It has more like a more modern sound to it with the guitar playing. So you lose kind of the 70s feel the way Dave Ellefson does it. Still good though. But yeah, I had to go with those two as my number one and number two, both sweet. So want to rattle off some. Oh, before I move on, I got other people wanted me to read their picks. Let's see, who do I got here? All right, so Brian's number 3, Nightlife, Thin Lizzy. His number 2, his favorite song on that was Still in Love with You. Deep Purple, number 2, Burn. Mistreated, his favorite song. His number 1 is Robin Trower, Bridge of Sighs. And I think the title track was his favorite.
I can't believe I forgot Robin Trower.
Webb.
Brian
Trower's
McFadden?
awesome, man. Yeah.
Yes, Brian McFadden.
Okay, cool.
So our good friend Webb Vandiver. I don't know.
Mr. Van
I
Diver.
say Vandiver, I know. All right, so here's 2 that have been picked. His number 3, Genesis, Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. Number 2, Kiss, Hotter Than Hell. Number 1, I know Rand will love this pick. Little Feat, Feats Don't Fail Me Now.
Wow, Little Feat.
Webb.
Oh, you let me down, Webb. You had me going for a minute.
Little Feat, number 1. And let's see what Christina had again. All right. Again, more overlap. Christina's number 3, Supertramp, Crime of the Century.
All right.
Number 2, Robin Trower, Bridge of Sighs again. Number 1 is Rush. So there you go.
All right.
There's some more picks. So
Christina.
Here's a sweet DVD set.
you just
might
had that on
be interested
hand.
in. 3 DVDs.
Wow.
More sweet. Look at the
Wow.
songs. I mean, look at the amount of stuff you get here.
Wow.
Like
More
what,
sweet than you can
15
imagine.
15 hours of content or more. That's great.
It's all video.
Yeah,
None
See
of
what
it's
I'm-
audio.
good.
Want
It's
to
all
rattle
video.
off some honorables real quick?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Weasel Face, you changed your name to Weasel.
I got a bunch.
Well, somebody had to.
Weasel face.
That's a horror. I gotta look this band up. Did they do anything but appear on the
That
sweet
is the
cover album?
dumbest
Like,
name for a band.
And I don't know if they got it from that, but that's a Ramones song.
Do they walk up to the singer and
Yeah, I
say,
don't
"Which
know.
one's Weasel Face? You?
they're a band from Sweden, apparently. I don't know.
You
they
look like a
start?
weasel."
First album is '96. Their
They
first
have
album
two
is
runners
actually
up,
called
but
Fuck
I'm
You.
gonna-
What a great album
That's
title.
They might
Crazy.
have taken that from the Ramones in the 80s to this song called Weasel Face.
Probably. That's probably what they're like a
That-
punk hard rock band, apparently. So,
That is crazy.
apparently it's
crazy.
all punk covers of sweet songs. I don't know if I want to really hear that.
Which
I
is-
want to list 2 runners up, but I'm going to break the rules here a little bit.
Yeah,
Runner up number 1,
there are
1974.
no rules.
Good. So I'm going to break them all. 1974's Rock-a-Rolla by Judas Priest.
Yeah,
My favorite song being the title track, but the caveat being the remix, the Tom Alam remix, blows away. I'm not joking. Blows away the original album. So the caveat is the remix of Rock-a-Rolla. And secondly, Queen 1. Not Queen, Queen 1, the remix. Also, in my opinion, and I'm just one guy, and Will and I have already discussed remixes on this episode, but these are my 2 exceptions to that rule. Queen 1 is a superior remix to the original album, and I will die on that hill, both Queen 1 and Rock-a-Rolla. And I'm going to go with Liar from Queen 1.
That was 73 because I think I accidentally thought it was 74.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yeah, it is.
well,
I screwed that up last time. I didn't pick it for 73, and
Rewind.
I thought it was 74. So I ended up kicking one off for it. At the,
Okay,
it was actually 73. I
then
did
in
the
that
same
case,
thing, thinking it was 74. I don't
in
know
that
why.
case, I'm going to go with Get Your Wings as my runner-up.
There we go. It just picks my album.
Yeah, well, it was a great pick, and it would have
No,
it would have been on my runners-up anyway. So
All right, cool. Will, you got any honorable?
I didn't pick any, but I just
What are
well,
you doing,
I
John?
didn't prepare any backups, but I just chose a couple. The Beach Boys, "Endless Summer" came out in 1974,
okay.
Nice.
and I had that. It was
That
like
was huge.
one of
That
my huge
sold
records.
so well, you
Yeah.
wouldn't believe it.
One
I
of my
remember it
first
so much.
records that I owned as a kid, and introduced
Oh
me
my
to
God,
the
it
whole
was-
world of surf
Beach
rock. and
Boys
so forth.
revival,
Beach
yeah.
Boys, yeah. Also,
Yeah.
Elton John, Greatest Hits,
Caribou?
came out in '74.
Oh, okay. He had
Yeah.
2 that year.
So probably if you have respect for Elton, it's probably a good one to have for sure. So that's it.
Alice Cooper's greatest hits came out in '74 too. Another great
Yeah,
hits.
that's right.
Featuring a lot of remixes.
I got about, I don't know, 20.
Rattle off real quick.
I'll go quick. Hatfield in the North, the Rotters Club, Canterbury from England, great stuff. Camel, Mirage.
Here comes
This
the
is the
20
British
prog
cover.
records.
Here comes the American cover.
Oh, I like that better.
I do too.
Oh, it's not
This
really
is
a
the one
camel,
we
is
saw. I had this, huh?
it? It looks more like a dragon than a camel, but yeah.
It's a camel, but it looks like a dragon. But I always look at this and I see a sunny side up egg,
It does
even though it's supposed to
Does
be
look
the
like an
sun.
egg,
But look at
yeah.
the back. This is a beautiful album cover. I think it's way better. They got sued for this, by the way. Camel Cigarettes went after them like
Really?
you couldn't believe. Yeah.
Wow.
That's why they made this cover. This came out on Janus Records in America. And the other one was on Decca. But I love this record. This is a great record. It's the first Camel I ever heard. And I'm going to go with Gong Yu. This is the American cover. It looks different than the British. I prefer this cover. If you look really close, you can see that they put these lines in the words. I just think it looks really great. This is really hard to find. I bought this online off of eBay. Okay, Nectar, Remember the Future. This is a box set, of course.
Holy crap.
One of the great freaking. I got to see them live in 1975 in Berkeley again. Gentle Giant, The Power and the Glory.
Yeah.
Love this album. This is the remix with Steven Wilson and everything.
Sydney, I need to drop out.
All right.
Take care, guys.
All right. Have a good
Bye,
one.
Mike.
Okay.
Nice meeting
Ciao.
you.
You too.
Nice meeting you guys.
Mike.
Have a good
Yeah.
one. See ya.
care.
King Crimson, Starless, and Bible Black. They put 2 out that year.
2 pumps or 1.
Red. They ended their career until 1981 with this one. Great
Love it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Great album. Here you go, Sidney. Manfred Mann's Earth Band, The
There
Good
you
Earth.
go. Oh, yeah. I forgot
I
about
just
it.
found out there's a brand new song from the Roaring Silence sessions called Stronger Than Me.
Okay.
I heard it on Amazon. There's a 50th anniversary box set coming. I don't know when it's being released. Yes, Relayer. Great album. One of my favorites, but it didn't make my number 1 because Tales from Demographic Oceans, I think, is a better album. Refugee. Patrick Moraz's band.
That's a horrible album cover, but it's a great album.
With the bass player and the drummer from The Nice. Yeah, this music is insane. So good. You heard that Papillon, right? You heard that Papillon. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like I said, he did that live at the Yes concert. Here's Renaissance, Turn of the Cards. Love it. My favorite Renaissance record. Here's an Italian band called PFM, Permida Marconi Fernaria. This is called The World Became the World, but it's got a different title in Italy. Love this. Really good. I got Hawkwind, Hall of the Mountain Grill. Great album.
Good record.
Lots of Mellotron on that, which is really weird because it's a very heavy album. Grand Funk Railroad Shining On. We were talking about that. And Argent Nexus. And this had a different cover in America, but this was the British cover. The cover in America is just Rod Argent by himself with his shirt open and his open chest. And there's nobody else.
That's where Paul Stanley got it from.
This one lists the whole band. I mean, you can see everybody there, but the American cover just shows him with a green background, and it looks cool, but it's sort of conceited. I don't know why they did it like that. But, you know, American covers are always different. You know, you never know. But anyway, this was fun. This year is an amazing year for prog. I mean, it's probably my favorite year because so many great things came out in '74, and I was 22. So, what a time
one of the
to
peak
live
years
through
for
it.
prog.
Good time to be alive. Yeah.
Close. Yeah.
Cool, Alex, you got some.
Of course, I do. None that have been mentioned. And
Miles
some serious
Davis, right?
ones, some serious ones, and then some, you know, just wacky records. But for
Prince's first band before he went solo? I don't know.
What are you saying?
Prince's first band before he went solo? I don't know if he had a band.
He was always solo, brother.
I don't know if he had a band.
I have early recordings from him pre-first album. This is for Rand. I always like to show, because I know he's a big fan. Lou Reed, Rock and Roll Animal. That I do like.
I will say that the live version of Sweet Jane, before he sings, is excellent. As soon as he starts singing, I'm out.
But he doesn't sing; he talks. Right? That's the whole thing. I love Lou Reed. He's not a singer. Yeah. So one of the greatest rock and roll bands of all time, New York Dolls, Too Much Too Soon, their second album.
You picked them for 73, didn't you?
73, right?
Yeah. Almost made my list. Miles Davis, Big Fun. Yeah. Amazing record. John McLaughlin on guitar. Some of his best guitar work is on that.
I've never heard that one. I got to listen to that. Big Fun?
It's great.
No, I got Tribute to Jack Johnson. I've got Live Evil, and I've got.
If you like John McLaughlin, you must hear Big Fun. It's stuff that was like 70 to 73. It's not all a recording session. It's kind of bits and pieces from other sessions, but it's phenomenal. And I love John McLaughlin. And I
haven't heard On the Corner either. I should get those two in my ears.
I would say don't listen to. I would tell you don't listen to On the Corner. I don't know if that's your thing. But definitely listen to Big Fun. Listen to the Corner if you want, but
I'll take your recommendation, brother.
Do it. James Brown. Never does this record get mentioned. Called Hell. It is fantastic.
It's called Hell.
It's Hell. It's a double album. It's great.
It's called Hell.
That's the satanic pick right there.
No, we didn't get there yet. Very important. We didn't mention Elf.
Christina has that in their honorables, actually.
So, at Carolina County Ball. So that's the original. And then when Dio became Dio, they added that and said, "Hey, Ryan James Dio is on this, so you better buy it." So,
oh God, it's one of those.
Now, I don't know if Rand, if you're into him or not, but Sun Ra, great, crazy, experimental, avant-garde jazz. This is the Nubians of Plutonia. Very cool record. But out there, very much out there. I can't believe that no one mentioned.
I'll check it out.
It's good. Can't believe that no one mentioned Phil Austin in Roller Maidens from Outer Space.
What? Is that
an absolute stone cold classic? You got to check that out.
I love Firesign Theater. I got to see him and Osmond tour together.
Looks like Logan.
In Stockton, California.
Good price on it.
In fact, I think I talked to them. Yeah, I talked to them. I got to talk to them.
The Power of Attorney.
What?
It's called From the Inside. It's actually they were prisoners.
What?
They were 9 prisoners that put out this soul album while they were still in jail.
What were the crimes? I hope nothing serious.
One of the crimes was that they watched your show, Sid. So they locked them up right away.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You can't forget
they watched it in the 70s?
Deke Leonard, Kamikaze. Absolute stone cold classic. I know, Sid, you're a big Deke Leonard fan. Wow. There you go.
I have a lot of Man albums.
Evel Knievel put out an album in 1954. This is my signed copy. Evel Knievel.
Did you meet him?
Autograph. Yeah.
That's cool.
He made the leap to music.
That's the sounds of the motorcycle, you know. There you go.
It's motorcycle noises.
Music for Magicians. Excellent album.
What?
That looks like a Christopher Lee production.
Yeah. Logan had that, but it disappeared on him.
And then, so just for you said, we will enter the dark side. Sonny Stitt, fabulous jazz saxophone player. This is one of his later albums called Satan.
What's he doing? He's smoking on the
Evil.
What the hell? You can tell me he's like 20 years old in that picture.
And then,
guys, I gotta go.
All right.
Okay, Red.
Bye bye.
Nice to meet you. Take care.
All right. Have a good
and then just the last one. Look at that.
Oh my God, what's that called?
That is called The Rite of
away with your
Exorcism.
satanic.
Wow.
Spoken word, The Rite of Exorcism.
That's up there with Born Again cover. Seriously.
What is that?
That should have
That's
been
not
the
a very
Born
good
Again.
drawing.
It's
That looks
the
like-
adult
that's Darth-
version
that's
of,
supposed to be
of
Darth
Born
Maul.
Again.
So,
It's Star Wars.
so
It's
that's
Darth
it.
Maul.
That's me.
Yeah.
All
Maul
right, Logan,
Blues.
can you top that?
No, I can't because all mine's just hard rock. So I'm
Yours
sorry.
is like normal albums.
Yep, normal album. So Budgie, In for the Kill, right? Classic.
Don't steal my
Mon- Montrose, Paper Money. I really like that album. I know a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's not as great as the debut, but I really like that album. You know, and the two Mountain releases, I would say, Twin Peaks, which is a live album, and
Did
Avalanche.
Wow.
Yep.
Avalanche.
Yeah,
Right. Both records great. Yeah.
Yeah, both of them are really good. And I want to say, of course, Dolly Parton, Jolene for my mom. So there you go.
Yeah,
Oh God, no.
absolutely. I've got a copy of that over here.
Jolene. Oh God.
Oh, come
All
on,
right.
Sid, you're not a fan of that? Come on.
Anyways. All right. So yeah, I got like a whole long list of honorables here. Scorpions, Fly to the Rainbow. I almost had that, but Aerosmith knocked it off. Another one that Aerosmith knocked off was UFO Phenomenon. It pained me not to pick that. Good Rats, Tasty, Deep Purple, Burn and Stormbringer, Kiss debuts, Hotter Than Hell, Queen 2, the first two Kansas albums, their debut and Song for America.
Oh, yeah, big time. Yeah.
Styx, Man of Miracles, the Rush debut. Here's one that no one mentioned, Bob Seger, 7. I think that's one of his great early.
Get Out of Denver's on that.
Early, it's a 7th album, but yeah. What else do I got here? Blue Oyster Cult, Secret Treaties, Skinner's Second Helping, Robin Trower, Bridge of Sighs, Budgie, In for the Kill. Buffalo, Only Want You for Your Body, their second album. BTO, Not Fragile. Donald mentioned it. Judas Priest, Rock-a-Rolla. Jethro Tull, War Child. And then
that's pretty cool.
Supertramp, Prime of the Century. And then if we're doing live albums, I went with April Wine Live, and then Rory Gallagher, Irish Tour 74. So, yeah, that's
Cool.
the honorables that I had there. So, yeah.
That's good. It's good stuff. I was trying to find my Happy Days record. I wanted to show Alex.
Happy Days.
Seriously, it folds out. My wife's from when she was a kid. I'll bring it.
Now we're
next
going
show.
into soundtracks.
It
Now
folds
we're
out,
really-
and you got a big picture of the Fonz on it, and it folds out like a picture frame, right? It's got a cardboard
Classic.
back, so you could stand it up, and the Fonz could look at
Well,
you.
it's Pick and Rock
Oh,
Around the
that's
Clock for his favorite song from
It's,
1974.
I don't have that. I have another album that has Henry Winkler on the front. It says the Fine Sit on it, and I had him sign that at a show. But I don't know. I'll have to check out that one. I don't
Oh
know.
wow!
Yeah.
I will find it and bring it to the next show,
Cool.
whenever that is. But yeah, I've got that, and there's Happy Days, Partridge Family. We got about
Oh, yeah.
4
Partridge
Partridge Family
Family, wow.
records, a bunch of other stuff. So Grant would love my oddball collection over here. So
Oddball collector. Oh, that's
all
funny.
right.
Oh, no one said that 461 Ocean Boulevard, Clapton. I like that album quite a bit.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
probably
yeah.
one of Clapton's best.
It's a good record. Yeah.
Alex isn't a fan.
I'm not a fan of Eric Clapton. No, I'm not.
At all? You don't like Cream?
Marginally at best.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
I need to listen to them more. I literally only know like Sunshine of Your Love and White Room. I need to actually go and listen to them for once. But yeah. And that weird song Swabbler, or what the hell it stands for.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking Spoonful, but
Yeah,
yeah, you got to go
no.
back to Cream. Start with
Yeah.
Cream. Like what?
That's
go back-
Clapton's best stuff, man. I mean,
Yeah.
to me.
Yardbirds. Maybe go further.
They were all three of them were all pretty friendly, easygoing guys, weren't they? Cream? No. Jack Bruce is apparently a cool dude, but yeah.
About as good as Kiss, right?
The other two are Eric's, I guess, okay. But oh my God, what's his drummer's name? Oh my God, Ginger
Ginger
Baker.
Baker, right?
You want a crazy personality? Holy crap, guy was nuts.
Yeah.
Didn't he say like heavy metal sucks, or he made some comment he doesn't like loud, aggressive music? It's like you kind of made that. You kind of pioneered it. What are you talking about? Well, we were never heavy metal. We were a blues band. It's like, all right, whatever. Okay. You were just all distorted. What are you talking about? You influenced all that stuff, so whatever. Whether he liked it or not. It's a weird thing to complain about. Oh, it's like Roger Waters trashing AC/DC. That's
Old
loud,
man syndrome, man.
loud
That was
aggressive
old man
music,
syndrome.
or what did we call it? Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, all right.
Yeah.
All right,
he's-
so yeah,
he's
this
something.
was a fun one. 74 was fun. So yeah, I'd like to thank
Yeah.
Mike Ladano, Rand, Will, Alex and Logan for doing this. It was a lot of fun. We've gone 2 hours and 4 minutes. Holy crap. I was thinking, oh, we'll be done in like an hour, but nope. All right, so yeah, this was a lot of fun. We will be back tomorrow continuing on with our trivia. I know Alex is all excited.
I'm studying up all of my music from the early 1900s. So, yes, I'll be prepared.
Better get ready for the Glenn Miller questions.
All the art
Glenn
rock
Miller
questions. Yeah. So it'll be so who's that's gonna be Alex, Brian. Yeah,
Uncle
Brian,
Meat.
Alex, Christina, and
Uncle
Meat is replacing Rand, who won the last time. So yeah, that'll be fun. I'm betting on Uncle Meat. I mean, I can't bet. But yeah, I think Uncle Meat's gonna win. Uncle Meat's an encyclopedia. No, I don't know. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. It's a lot of luck, right? You either know it or you don't, kind of thing. That's the thing with trivia, right? You either know it or you don't. But yeah.
Just being on your show makes you a winner, Sid.
Okay. Alex is going to get all the Miles Davis questions now.
Good.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Have any Miles Davis? I don't know. I guess it doesn't fit in rock. He's probably in heavy metal or something.
Roots of Rock. He'll be in Roots of Rock.
Doobie Brothers will be in art rock or something. Yeah. All right. All right. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. That's what's coming up tomorrow. And then once we're done that, we'll be back with another music hangout with Rand, with more of Rand's music. The Fusion album Volume 4. It's only 4 songs, but they're long ones. It's got some 15-minute epics on there. So.
Oh, it's Rand's Tales from Topographic Oceans. There you go.
Rand's. Yeah, exactly. It's 4 songs. Yeah, it's true. So that's what's coming up. So that's tomorrow. So thanks everybody for watching, and go listen to all these albums that we've mentioned. There's a lot of great stuff here. So feel free to post in the comments your list if you want as well. So,
especially James Brown Hell. Listen to James Brown Hell.
James Brown.
Seriously.
Is it just him screaming hell into the microphone for 40 minutes?
It's a good album. Trust me.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching, and yeah, we'll be back tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Sidney.
Yep.
Good to see you guys, Alex.
Yep.
Good to meet you.
Appreciate
Guys,
it,
take
man.
care. Take care.